Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
In LA faced with an Oakland booty. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, wherever you may be. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 956 of the Two Dum Yinzers. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Glad to see everybody today. Glad to get back at it. It's hump day, halfway through the week, halfway through the off season. Getting there. We are getting there. We're getting there, guys. I gotta be honest, Mike. I don't feel fantastic today. I'm gonna do my best to give a good 2 hours, but I gotta be honest. Beyond that, man, I don't know what the fuck I ate or if it's just something going around, but my stomach is all jacked up.
Of course, why would the hotkey work to unmute me? It works to mute me. But yeah, I know what you mean. The other day, man, I was just sitting here and then late at night, and I got sick just out of nowhere. And it really took it out of me. I think there's something going on. My boss last weekend was sick as a dog when I saw him on Saturday. Talked to him yesterday. He said today, said he was like sick for like a good 2 days. So I think there's something in the air, brother.
And you know, the thing is, it's always been this way, no matter whatever it was, if it was work, if it was school. And as much as I hate school and it's just, I couldn't miss. I don't know. I got up today and I thought, should we not take it? Should we not do it? I thought, you know what? Screw it. I am going to be fine. No, I'm not going to die. Everything's going to be all right. But like I said, we'll do our best to give you a good 2 hours. Not feeling fantastic, but you know what? It is what it is. People go through shit. People get shit. And I'm not going to slack because of it, guys. I'm glad to be here. I'm always glad to be here. I'm always glad to talk to Steeler Nation and be involved in the voice that is Steeler Nation, Mike. And not even a stomach ache will keep me back, guys. Welcome back to the show. Great to see everybody today. A couple of things before we do get started. The Pirates take a loss, Mike. This is their first losing streak of the season. They're 30 games in, about almost a little less than a fifth of the way through the regular season. Taking their first losing streak as they lost to the Cardinals last night, 11-7, Mike. But I think the bigger news in this whole story is the Pirates. There's a few big stories, but O'Neal Cruz Mike, he has 13 hits versus left-handed pitchers this year and 37 at-bats against left-handed pitchers. Last year, all season long, he went 11 for 108.
Wow.
Against left-hand pitching all season. 111 and 8 so far this year. He's 13 of 37.
That's quite a turnaround. And this is what we wanted to see from O'Neal Cruz, man. Can he ever put it all together? And he is at the plate right now. Still some errors base running wise, fielding wise, but my God, he's getting it together at the plate. I love to see it. The dude has unlimited potential, man. Let's get it all unlocked because dude's fun ball player.
I tell you what, if the guy brings it and really, turns it around and plays as good as he can and his potential, he's an all-star every year. He just always has one inconsistency with his game, and it's every year it's this. Last year was left-hand pitching. He improved on it greatly. Now he can't catch a fly ball in center field. It's almost like I don't know if you really got into it, but Kelly Bundy on Married with Children, there was an episode where they were trying to get her to learn something, but Kelly, her brain was like a glass of water that was full. So if you put more in, you would be able to gain that, but you would lose something else. And that's what it feels like with O'Neal Cruz. Every time he gets better, something else, another hole pops open that we have to work on and we have to fix. But other than that, Mike, if he could be consistent as a ball player, he could easily be an all-star every year. He's showing that this year. I mean, he's got a load of stolen bases, a load of home runs. His average is way up. He's hitting lefties. Just catch the fucking ball. I mean, literally the easiest thing that you could do in baseball, if you're a professional baseball player, is catch pop-ups. I would assume, I'm not a professional baseball player, I never will be, but I would assume if you got to that point in your life where somebody decided to hand you a contract, does someone give you millions of dollars to do this? I would assume catching the baseball should be something you should be able to do very easily.
You would think, it's like the staple of your job. It's up in the air. You're tracking it. How many times as a little kid, your buddies would throw the ball high up into the air to see if you can track it or not? Like this is just like little kid stuff that you should know how to do. And it's like frustrating to watch him not be able to do it. Like, come on, bro. It's like, it's the basics of your job. Let's do it.
Just because he's such a talented guy, too. That's what makes it frustrating.
Yeah, it's like where I work, you have to wear boots. And I see people come in with Crocs on. They're like, yeah, you might want to go home and change that. Oh, really? Like, yes, it's the basics of your job. Don't wear Crocs, catch a fly ball. Same thing.
Same thing.
Good
afternoon, everybody. Let me finish that thought up. Like the Pirates back at it tonight for game 3 of 4 against the Cardinals, looking to get in the win column as the series that led up to this with the Cardinals. Mike, we shut them out 3 straight games in a row. This one, a little bit different. They let up a bunch the other night to lose the game in the 9th inning. Last night they lose, and then again tonight back at it with the Cardinals. So hopefully we can get back on the winning side of things. That game is tonight at 6:40. That is game 3 of 4. And then tomorrow they start a weekend series with the Reds. That's a showdown with the Reds. All these division games right now is big for the Buccos, so hopefully they can get it together. However, there's a huge game in Pittsburgh tonight. The Pittsburgh Penguins with that opportunity to tie the series up with the hated rivals, the Philadelphia Flyers, tonight in Philadelphia. This hockey game is game 6 of the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight at 7:30. The Penguins and Flyers meet up in the Philadelphia to play a game of hockey, Mike. If they win, it's going to be huge because it's going to come down to game 7 in Pittsburgh. Does it get to that far? Does it get that far?
I think so. I think it comes back to the Berg. They're playing at such a higher level than the Philadelphia Phillies or Philadelphia Flyers right now. I think it comes back for game 7, but Philly's going to do everything they can to close it out tonight. And they don't want this game to go to game 7. And they thought they had this locked up a long time ago.
I hope this is a nice turnaround. I hope this is the beginning of something big. If they could beat Philly tonight, extend the series back home to Pittsburgh for game 7. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, Mike. And also it's big for our big bet here right on the show, as you were assigned to get pubes glued on the top of your shiny skull, Mike. If the 4 Pittsburgh pro teams could win get out of the first round this year, was the bet. I didn't think that it would be the Penguins that would be giving us trouble, but here we are. So we're all rooting for Mike to get pubes on it. I mean, we're all rooting for the Penguins to win tonight because we all just love hockey and Penguins, and has nothing to do with putting pubes on Mike's head. So tonight, the Penguins Flyers in Philadelphia, Game 6, 7:30 puck drops, guys. Don't miss that. Big things going on here in the Berg with our teams. But you know what? There's no team that's ever more important, in my opinion. Listen, I know that people love hockey. I know there's people who love baseball, but in my opinion, the king of the ring is always going to be our football team right here in Pittsburgh. And I think that the draft proved our love for Pittsburgh, or proved our love for the Steelers over the weekend, Mike. I seen this morning the NFL Green Zone team cleaned up all the trash and planted new trees as a part of their having the NFL draft right here in Pittsburgh. You got to remember, they cut down 100 trees to get the stage and everything put together, and Mike putting trees back in where they should be, getting the parking lots cleaned up, freeing up the lots will be back open. Things will be back to normal in the Berg after a successful draft, Mike, the most successful draft in the history of drafts.
The most successful. And I know that, like, a lot of people were skeptical that they were actually going to replant these trees. So it is nice to see that they are being replanted, and they're living up to their promise.
In a world that there's a gazillion trees, I'm one of these guys that I just don't care about things like this because at the end of the day, if you ever got on a highway, a lot of guys on the board, they live from out of town. Go visit any of these people, get in your car, and you're going to see 1 bazillion trees between here and wherever you would travel. I, for one, am not a big stickler on if you have to cut down a couple trees to make some things happen. Yes, I understand. I get all the environmental shit, but at the end of the day, there's a pavilion. I don't even know if you could even number the amount of trees that there are. So, cutting down a few for the draft and then being replaced, there's no biggie at all. I just, there's always going to be opposition to this. There's always going to be somebody with an opinion. But there you go. You're getting your trees.
See, right
in the middle of the field, in the middle of the city. You're going to get your trees. So
in this argument, I'm right down the middle to where, like, we had to remove them for this. Cool, we're bringing them back because it is nice to have those trees downtown in there. Nice, if you're walking, get a little hot, man. I'll stand under this tree for a few minutes, sit here, sip my drink, get some shade, breathe some fresh air under the tree, and then go about my day. And hey, it served. Hey, we had to remove them. We got this thing in here. It helped us out. And boom, we're bringing them back in. It's helping us out again. For me, it was a win-win with the tree and the draft.
And it doesn't, don't take it the wrong way. I'm sure somebody's going to get a hold of me and tell me that I'm a terrible person because I don't want trees, but that's bullshit. I like trees. I don't love trees. I have no special connection to trees. However, Mike, I just think that we might have enough. So if you have to remove a couple to make something happen, it is what it is, and they fixed it. So there you go. You got your trees back. Acrisure Stadium getting back to normal. Life getting back to normal here in Western PA. A lot of people had an exciting time this weekend. Glad to see it. Tomorrow, RB will be in the house to talk about the latest NFL draft picks for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's going to come on and give us all of his grades tomorrow for all of the picks the Steelers made. Today, we're going to take a run at that as well. We're going to take a look at the Steelers draft picks this year, grade them, take a look at our undrafted free agent list, and also we're going to take a look around the AFC North to see how the draft served the other teams in our division. So lots of things going on today. A few of the obvious stories we're going to get into right off the cut is this, Mike Vrabel. Now, this is interesting. Very interesting. The Patriots are interested in Mike Tomlin if Mike Vrabel would happen to resign. Now, whether that would happen or whether it wouldn't, I don't know. I mean, he wanted to spend all his time with his family and get his job in the media. So I don't know what's going through the man's head. But very interesting, Mike, that this is even a topic, a story, if you will. Is there a real interest vesting? Is there things being said in the media? Because I just got this from my source this morning as I'm running up the show. Is this a thing, Mike?
I don't know if it's 100% legit, or this is like someone in the media just floated out or not. Because I saw this too. I didn't see anything directly linked to the Patriots. I think this is a more of a pipe dream, or hey, if we need to replace someone from outside the organization, this guy is available. Why not? Type of thing. I don't think there's any smoke right now, or if there's any fire to this smoke right now. I think this might just be media speculation or fan speculation if it were to happen.
And this could certainly be a big talking point. I mean, if this is something that actually goes down, the long-time 20-year coach of the Steelers, never had a losing season. The Patriots, the storied history that the two teams certainly have had over the past 25 years, we'll say, could just be very interesting, Mike, especially, the way things went down in Pittsburgh and just kind of watching this whole situation play out with Coach T, with the Patriots, if that happens to go down. However, Mike, that's the talk. Mike Vrabel, he got himself into some shit. I didn't follow the story in its entirety. I'm not real up on the details of it. But from what I'm seeing, Mike, this is somewhat of a possibility. It's at least it's being talked about. So again, we'll keep our eye on that as this story plays out.
Yeah, it would be awesome if they want to do this, and because they would have to trade for him, and I think that would be awesome.
We would take it. We would certainly be involved in that.
Hell yeah, we definitely take it. It'd be dumb not to take it.
Let's get on the terrible board, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Glad to see us today. Great to be back. As I said, I'm feeling a little under the weather. The stomach's not feeling great. I don't know, again, if it's something I ate. I don't know if it's something going around. Mike said he was shitting himself the other day, so I'm kind of leaning toward there's something going around. But we're going to do our best. We're going to give you a couple hours. I promise you. We're going to do it. I swear.
We got this.
Let's jump right on right here. Tortilla all the way from Sacramento, California. He comes on and he says this right off the start. You can't spell Aller without all AR. Great to see you today, brother. Hope your morning is well in the wonderful California. Always great to see Tortilla. Just learning, my man. Always great seeing you as well. He says Tomlin to cheating Patriots if Vrabel is fired. Boy, is cheating the term for this New England team or what? They do anything up there besides cheat?
I don't think they do. I think that's all they do is cheat.
I mean, that's all that ever really seems to come out of there. You win Super Bowls because you cheated. You're banging somebody. I don't know. It's just something. The theme with these guys up there. Let me scoot on. Always great seeing Just Learning. Let's say what's up to the original OG, Yinzer Joe, my man. He says, so who's holding who hostage now? LOL. What's up, Yinzers? Always great seeing Yinzer Joe, my man. Yeah, it's interesting. We will see what's going on. Like we were saying a little bit yesterday, I was under the impression that they were kind of more down the road, further along in this process. Speaking of the two parties, the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. However, after what we've seen yesterday, I'm not so sure. So again, what's going on with this whole situation? It's still up in the air. We're all certainly keeping an eye open on that story to see what we could find out next. What's up to End of Days? Go Steelers. What's up, baby? Always great seeing End of Days on the terrible board. Hope everybody is getting over their draft hangover, if you will, Mike.
Yeah, it's time to sober up, boys. I think that's what's wrong with you. I think you're still hungover from the draft. It's finally leaving your system.
I think you want me to tell you what I think it is? I think it's all this chocolate you're bringing to the studio. And that sounds silly. How's can chocolate? I don't know. I'm not exactly a young guy anymore. And as you start to get a little bit older, you start to notice things about yourself. And I've eaten a lot of chocolate over the past couple of days. I'm just going to put it to you that way. And I've got this thing with my stomach. So I don't know. I'm not making a direct correlation, but I'm just saying, Mike, it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility.
It could be. It could be the chocolate. You're eating a lot of chocolate.
I have a problem.
You do have a problem.
I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing in moderation. It's always got to be over the top.
This is true with you. I've learned this about you.
Let's stay on the board, though. Richard Jankowski, my man. Always great seeing Richard. He says, playing through the pain. That's right, baby. That's right. Because if I wasn't, I would still feel like shit, but I would be sitting here not talking Steelers. So what's the right answer? I think I made the right decision. Let's go with back to Just Learning. He says, this GP leaving Dallas, too. We'll certainly keep an eye on this situation. It would be interesting. And again, maybe we won't look quite the fool if this does happen, if GP does make his way on, even from that derelict-driven team that is the Dallas Cowboys. Like, they always have some kind of problems on that team. And if you can't hack it on the Dallas Cowboys, if you can't make it there, you really are a head case.
Exactly. And that's just like the perfect situation for GP down in Dallas. You got Dak, who, he can sling the ball around. He's not going to win you a playoff game, but he's going to light it up in the regular season. You got CeeDee Lamb next to you, taking pressure off you. You're 1B to 1A down there. sign that franchise tender. You're going to make more money than you've made in your entire career that year. And then try and work out a long-term deal with them. Or if not, you walk away free agency and get a big long-term deal. Like, this is the perfect situation for George. And whoever's advising him not to sign this, sign it. Because Jerry Ward ain't going to sign you to a long-term extension this year. He's not. He wants to negotiate with you directly, not your agent, to sign that thing and get your money. You've been healthy your entire career. I don't think you're going to gamble on yourself that you won't get hurt. But if you do, my God, that's a shit ton of money for 1 year, more than you've made in your entire career. Sign it, dude. Sign it. But if you don't, thank you. You make the Steelers look even more correct to trade your ass.
End of days, back to end of days. He says, this best team on paper in 20 years. My prediction is that the Steelers will win it all. I love that prediction, and I hope you're 100% right. End of days. I would love that more than anything. Dude, always great seeing Dude in the house. Dude says, good afternoon, fellas. What up, dude? Sosh, what's up, man? Always a great seeing Sosh as well, all the way from Switzerland. He says, what up, you guys? Great seeing you, Sosh. Hope things are going good across the pond. Let's go to Peasant Avante. Peasant Avante says, does Wetjen see wide receiver duties, and does Heinrich make the roster? Yes and yes.
I think so.
I think so too. The more I'm reading, it's looking like these guys are going to be part of this team, and Heinrich is being talked about being used in a slot and in different ways. And if he's that kind of guy, that kind of player, I'll certainly take it. But you got to be special to have those kind of skills to do all these different things. He's an athletic kid. We've seen him win state championships here at Mount Lebo. Also had pretty successful career out in Navy, back in his hometown. So also that Mike and Wetjen, everything I'm reading, there's nothing that indicates to me that neither of these guys are going to make the team. As a matter of fact, the wide receiver room that I wrote down this morning right now is DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman Jr., Jeremy, Roman Wilson, Benny Sko, Wetjen, and Heinrich. So it was also in parentheses that Heinrich is going to be used in different ways. So in the slot, but doing different things, different looks, things of that nature. So, and I'm just going to grab RB right off the top. I'm not jumping comments. I'm just going to read what he says here. He says, Heinrich is going to have a bigger role than people think. It's going to take a Herculean effort from Johnson to keep Heinrich from taking his spot. And that's kind of what I'm thinking too. But again, it's hard to say. It's a different coaching staff. I don't know how Johnson is going to, show out in front of the new coaching staff and how that's going to go. But Mike, I think both of these guys ultimately make the roster when it's cut down to 53.
I do too. And the one that I think is on the bubble, and I think I touched on this yesterday, is not Roman Wilson. I think it might be the Big Johnson. Because if Heinrich can come in and be productive and show flashes in the preseason, he could be that Kenny Gainwell type guy.
I don't want him to be Kenny Gainwell. I want him to be he just needs to be one of those players that the Patriots were able to fish out all those years, Mike. Just a guy that comes out of nowhere, a little undersized white guy that you don't, you see him out there, but he makes big plays. If he could be that guy, that's huge on a team like ours.
And he's a pretty well built athlete. He's about 5'10" to 6 foot, in that range, 200 and some odd pounds. So he's a decent sized back. But I meant not be like Kenny Gainwell himself, but the way he was used in that offense, to where if he's in there, look for him to be the check down guy and make plays with the balls in his hands. Wetjen, I think, is more of the Belichick guy that you can put around in different areas. I think both those guys make the roster. Definitely Wetjen being a 4th round pick. You pencil him in as your number 1 punt returner and kick returner right now. He's solidified. Heinrich's going to be the one who might have to battle, but I think he sneaks in there, and depending on how he does in preseason, it might be the Big Johnson on the chopping block.
It's going to be interesting, especially with these two guys Mike mentioned, Roman Wilson and Johnson, both drafted, both didn't really get their opportunity. When they did, they were less than stellar for sure. New draft class comes along. It's a business, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. Let's stay on the board though. Look, great comment, great question. Dude says, let's go Pens. That's right, baby. Big game tonight. Game 6. Let's bring it back to the Berg for Game 7 against the hated Philadelphia Flyers tonight. That is a 7:30 start. It'll certainly be on my television. Big game for our Penguins. Let's go here to the original OG, Chris. I'm sorry, Yinzer Joe says Cruz is the equivalent of drafting in the first round the offensive lineman Mad Max. I know I spelled it wrong. Point taken. Let's go here to Ty, my man. He is the GOAT, the man, the myth, the legend, and the GOAT. Tyrone in the house. Everybody had a fun time listening to Tyrone's crash out yesterday. I know I was certainly thinking about that hours after we got off the air. Plenty of fun and entertainment yesterday. Great always hearing and seeing Tyrone. Just learning says Rodgers has a fake wife. Let's go here to MB34012. He says, I'm done with the A-Rod saga. And you know what, MB? Me too. But at the end of the day, if it ends out happening, it is what it is. And everybody kind of expected him to be back. and I kind of maybe set my mind to that. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to be, it's going to be cool, whatever the case is, whoever the quarterback is. But now it's kind of getting down the line. And we're further along, or we're not as far along as I thought we were, as I was saying at the top. I thought we might have been a little further along with Aaron, that we were maybe being cordial, keeping conversation open between the two parties. And apparently, if that's not happening, I'm not happy. I wanted it to be further along than what it appears to be. However, it could still be that, and this could be for whatever reason, we don't know. But like I was just under the assumption we were a little further along. Here we are going into May. Just in 2 days is going to be May, and I was just, like I said, I was under the impression that we were a little bit closer to something.
Yeah, so did I, and I think the Steelers were as well. Hence, this move right here, what they did yesterday to maybe light a little fire under Aaron Rodgers. Like, hey, if you want to come back, okay, you're coming back on our terms, and it's going to be to benefit us, whether it be, you only getting a $15 million contract. That's all we'd have to give you. Or, if you go somewhere else, we can hold you hostage a little bit by having that right of refusal and having to trade for you. They may have been like, hey, get your shit together. Or like, hey, let us know privately 100% whether you're coming back or not. That way we know.
It's kind of
just so we know. But the way they drafted, it's to where like, hey, if he comes back, cool, he slots in as number one, Mason out. If not, okay, you have a three-way battle for quarterback to figure out if you're going to have a bridge quarterback in Mason Rudolph, or one of the two young guys take over, which is kind of what we assumed all along, that those were going to be the two options.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. And you know what? I got one of these. Listen, this is one of these posts. I don't know if it's something that sometimes they come out, they put up good information, and other times there's garbage. So just let me tell you what this says here real quick. If this report is true, it starts by saying if this report is true. So do what you will. It says more about Aaron Rodgers than it does the team. Franchises don't stop building for the future just because a veteran is in the room. If anything, bringing in a guy like Drew Aller is exactly how you stay competitive long term. The best quarterback mentors compete and elevate the room and don't get threatened by it. If Rodgers can't handle that, maybe retirement isn't the worst outcome for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this could be something that people are thinking, and this is what makes me think that this is just one of these BS articles that somebody puts together or thoughts. But at the end of the day, Mike, let's just say that it is exactly what they're telling us, and they don't know anything else, and it's not beyond this point. Does this decision yesterday to make the decision the team made, does this piss Aaron off? Should it piss Aaron off? Will it affect whatever Aaron does at the end of the day? And again, I'm ready to be beyond Aaron Rodgers. He's not a Pittsburgh Steeler. He's a Green Bay Packer. He's going to retire a Packer. So at the end of the day, I have no connection to Aaron. Yeah. Yes, I realize if he comes back this year with a better wide receiver core, he's probably going to do better than 24-7 and 3,000 yards. I'll take that. But at the end of the day, Mike, does this damper the relationship with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers in a situation that I thought he might be a little closer to the team now with the new head coach? I thought that would bring them together. Where does this stand right now?
I don't know, to be honest, because you don't know how well that relationship is between them. So, it was reported that, it ended rocky, but apparently they've made up and, have become better than they were when they for lack of a better term broke up. I think he was closer and like Mike Tomlin more than McCarthy, and maybe if Tomlin came back, he wouldn't be out this long. But this is Aaron. He does things on his own timeline and his own schedule. He marches to the beat of his own drummer. So it could just be Aaron doing Aaron things. And don't forget, he didn't sign until like June anyway, last year. Maybe that's what he wants to do all along. Maybe the Steelers are just protecting themselves at this point too. There could be no ill will. So like, hey, Aaron, we got to do this because you're not here yet. Because we never know. Hey, if something comes up, another team comes knocking to your door, we want to protect ourselves. Here's a heads up. We're going to give you a little bit of professional courtesy, letting you know, hey, this is going to be out there. It's going to be on the news. There's going to be a lot of shit talking about it, but just let you know, hey, if you come back, cool. We want you back. If not, hey, man, that's cool too. We're just doing this to cover our own asses. So it could be that situation right there. The Steelers covering their own asses and maybe communicating with them. Because if they have been communicating, like, hey, we're just doing this to protect ourselves because Arizona might want a veteran quarterback at some point because they still have Jacoby Brissett unsigned. And the only other veteran out there is really Aaron Rodgers.
And then I'm reading a lot further along in this article. It says Aaron Rodgers reportedly pissed off that the Steelers drafted a quarterback in the third round and is seriously considering retirement. So again, yeah.
Not to jump on your toes here, but he wasn't pissed off when they drafted his replacement in Green Bay in Jordan Love.
I mean, it's obviously a different time in his career, a different situation, but point taken. So again, keeping an ear on that. It's day by day. You just don't know what's going to go down with Aaron. Again, even if they would have continued to go through the process and go through the motions and leave us into the impression that there is some kind of conversation and talks between the two, it would be different. Now, again, it's kind of a strange situation. And I'm kind of falling into the same category as the last commenter was, Mike, because I'm ready to just move forward and get this thing going. And listen, I'm not going to drag my feet on any player or coach or anything. If it's time to move on to make the team better, I'm all about that. And I will be all about saying bye-bye when it comes time to saying bye to Aaron Rodgers. I have no connection, no real connection with the guy. He gave us a Super Bowl loss. So at the end of the day, screw him. He's going to go retire a Packer. He took Ben's all-time passing record while in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform. It's no love lost for me at the end of the day. Yes, he'll come in. He has some the brains upstairs to get some shit done. But at the end of the day, at some point we have to get off the teat and move forward and learn to win football games without having the knowledge of Aaron Rodgers, because ultimately Aaron Rodgers' knowledge won't be involved with any of these quarterbacks, whoever does step under center, or if it's somebody down the road. The know-how is something the player has to have himself. So again, if he comes, he comes. If he goes, he goes. I'm much for moving it down the road, and again, learning how to win maybe without Aaron, and then you get your quarterback or whatever happens next year. You kind of already got cohesiveness with everybody on the team. So that's just where I'm at, Mike. I'm really indifferent, but I'm totally fine with moving forward, and I'm okay, I guess, with him coming back. At the end of the day, it is what it is, because again, we don't have the quarterback situation behind him figured out quite yet. So for me, one way or the other, you could make it work, but it's just going to be different situations.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where I am right now with him. I'd like to have him back, but cool. If not, hey, I kind of want to see what the shiny new toys have to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get back on the board. I do want to say, guys, do be sure to tune back in tomorrow. Our draft expert RB will be in the house giving his assessment of the draft. We're going to do our best to do it today. RB knows these guys backwards, frontwards, inside outs, upside down. I can't wait to see what RB has to say. He will be in the house tomorrow. Let's stay on the board, guys. I don't want to miss anybody today. Let's get right around here. As soon as I find it, I swear to you, I'll be there. All right, Richard. All right, I know I'm getting close now. I'm getting close. Here we go. I swear. Just Learning says tree hugger. Hello. That's me. Tortilla says Mike Tomlin trees. Yes, this is where we're at. Okay, MB 304012 says start Will. Yeah, we're in the right neck of the woods. Let's go to Sauce. Sauce says this: if you guys heard about the Brandon Sorsby, I have, and it's kind of interesting. But let me read the comment first. Have you heard about Brendan Sorsby, I'm sorry, the player from Cincy quarterback, now Texas Tech? Apparently, he has 20 bets placed a day at times. Kid is probably done. The reports were yesterday he's checking himself into therapy for gambling, his gambling addiction. Now, Mike, I need to resort to you here.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the week, I didn't read it, but I do know in the group chat, I do know that Chop and RB were talking about Sorsby. I think Chop came in and said something along the lines of, "We have to turn our game up because of Sorsby." What was that conversation in regards to, Mike? And is this a different conversation after they were talking about him at the very beginning of the week? Again, these guys read a million messages to one.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to make the connection. Was this the story, or were they interested in him? And then we found out he had the gambling problem.
So we knew he had, like, this all came out like with the gambling problem stuff. There's all the NFL supplemental draft. It happens after this draft, to where players who weren't, I think, drafted in the NFL draft, they can enter into the supplemental draft. And so it goes through. You very rarely see anyone picked in the supplemental draft, because if you use that, say you draft someone in the first round in the supplemental draft, you lose that pick in the following year. So this kid could potentially withdraw from college, go through rehab, and say, hey, I want to put myself in the supplemental draft. And teams have a chance to draft him in the supplemental draft, but they would lose the corresponding 2027 draft pick. So if someone really wants to take a gamble on this kid, if he does decide to enter a supplemental draft, into the supplemental draft, a team can, gamble on him in it, but they would lose that pick. I think that's what RB and Chop were saying, like, hey, maybe rescout this kid up and take a stab at him and throw him into the hopper of the four quarterbacks that we have right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to put two and two together. I'm seeing this story and I'm reading about this. I'm thinking, what the hell did they were just? I know I've seen this name in the last 48 hours, and the guys. So that must have been what it was. So yeah, Sash, I did see this going on. And he's got a rehab. He's got a rehab. But yeah, I guess that's people have problems, and he's got a gambling problem. A little bit of gambling. And I'm not gonna say a lot of athletes, because a lot of athletes don't. I would be unfair, but sometimes a lot of athletes really get into gambling. What's the big appeal?
They just love to do it for some odd reason. Gambling's fun. You're competing. And you're competitors. Why not compete on this? My favorite thing is that it's probably being reported on every major sports network, and then it's going to be the commercial cut to go to BetMGM and use code Sorsby to get 30% off. That's what's comical. Like, all these networks promote this, and then they're going to have these segments about bemoaning the fact that someone like him and all these other players are gambling. Like, you guys are in bed with the gambling business. You guys are promoting it. Like, yes, you don't bet on sports if you're an athlete, but you're not. He didn't supposedly bet on his own team, bet on other stuff, but you're really not supposed to. It's some weird bullshit, but like, it's promoted everywhere, and you're shocked that people are gonna bet, especially young kids. Get the fuck out of here.
I think the betting should be okay, as long as it's not on your own games or teams and things like this, things that that you could affect directly. Beyond that, what's the problem with placing bets elsewhere around sports? I just, again, Mike, if you were involved directly, I think it should be 100% law, because you could throw it. You could just not perform as good as you can, or do something at an opportunistic time to make it happen. But that's just where I'm at. I don't see a problem if he's gambling now on teams, if he's gambling on basketball, if he's gambling on this or that. I don't really see a problem at all. As a matter of fact, no problem. I mean, what could possibly be a problem from that?
What if we can say, well, we knew he bet on this, but did he bet on himself? Look at this. Why did he throw this ball into double coverage? Why did he overthrow this receiver for an interception? Is he trying to tip the balance of the game? Well, we have no no clue that he bet on these games, but what if, putting that,
Well, what if any player? I mean, you can be
exactly,
suspicious of referees who make bad calls. You could say,
exactly,
"Is this guy getting a call from the league in his
yeah,
earpiece halfway through this playoff game?" So, to be one, it's got to go across the board. I think with gambling, it's something that you have to treat it like that. If you're going to go all in, you got to go all in. You can't go half in on gambling and say these guys are okay, but not suspect these people. Again, it seems to me referees make the games sometimes go a little differently. Just my opinion. Certainly, we've seen this in the last 5, 6, 7 years more than any time in the history that I watch football. What that means, I don't know, but the league certainly it looks different. It looks different now. So whatever that is, it is. Let's move along though on the terrible board. Thank you for the great comment, Sash. Always great seeing you all the way from Switzerland. One sounds like a beautiful, beautiful place to visit. Tortilla says this: it's got to be speculation, bro. Just signed with NBC. Mike Tomlin name will be linked to every coaching job, and I agree, and that's obviously what it is. But you know what? The New England job is a big job. That Patriot job. Say what you want, even if they're not good. They went to the Super Bowl last year, but they are a team that's like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their organization is built very well. It's built to be competitive consistently, as they are. Whether it be Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, or Mike Tomlin, they've consistently won a lot of football games. Say what you want about that. And so does New England. And, they've won the same amount of Super Bowls we won. They've won a lot of football games, certainly, Mike, in this century. So at the end of the day, I don't think that there's an injustice by trying to make that connection because it would kind of make sense in the world that is football. I don't see Mike Tomlin going to a team like the Cardinals, in other words. If he was going to go somewhere, I think the New England Patriots or a team like it could be a team that could alter his maybe change his mind to coming back to the game.
I think so too. It would have to be like an ideal situation, and I would too. That's the only place I would go to, a good, well-run organization if I decide to come back to coach.
And I don't blame him.
Why would I go Why would I try to go somewhere and rebuild? I've had a pretty good career up to this point. Why would I go somewhere else to potentially ruin it? What I was. I wouldn't do that. I'd only go to I'd go to the best spot available to me.
I've seen a lot of people come in. I just want to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board. Great to see everybody today. Let's stay on the board, Mike. Let's go right here to dude. No. Let me think. Let me find where we be. Let's hear Tortilla speculation. Richard, I never thought Mike. Okay, here we go. Richard Jankowski, my man. He says this: I never thought Mike Vrabel would be such a big Putain hound. Yeah, save some for the rest of us, Vrabel. Shit.
Like from what I have heard from like people, just like second and third hand from people who have been around like Vrabel from in the Pittsburgh area, from bars he used to go to when he was in played for the Steelers, and in stories that you've heard from ex-players in New England, it does not surprise me. Like, this guy was like crushing beers and doing shots before the games, cruising bars in college and in the pros. It does not surprise me.
Man, I don't know.
He's a poon hound. He's a cocksmith.
He's a man's man. These are people that you see involved in this sport. So at the end of the day, I don't know. Listen, whatever happens in their personal life is whatever happens in their personal life, and it affects his job. Then we'll talk about it. But that is some rumors as time goes by here in this offseason, Mike. So again, the New England Patriots making the trip to the Super Bowl last year. Now the question is going to be if their head coach is even going to be on the staff moving forward after this scandal, which scandal is nothing new in the city of Foxborough. These guys are often accused of cheating. So does this surprise you? It doesn't surprise me. Just like the Browns never being good, just like the Cardinals never getting it together, Mike, the Patriots, they're just going to cheat. That's just something you've come to accept as a football fan.
That's just what they do. It's their MO.
It's their MO. Let's get back on the board because I very interested, Mike, to talk to Yinzer Nation this week. I am. It's the middle of the offseason. And the fact that so many people are interested in talking about the Steelers and getting excited and new players, This is what it's about, baby. This is why we do what we do, and we do what we do. Welcome everybody to the show. Welcome to the terrible board, dude. He says this: Tomlin needs to rethink his process. It's the new NFL. I do want to say good afternoon, good morning. I think it will be maybe almost noon at in Texas area for Jamal. He says, gang, my G's, always great seeing Jamal on the terrible board. Always good seeing you, brother. Tyrone, gang, Tortilla Diggs cheated, Vrabel cheated, Bill cheated, Tom cheated. My God, that's even more cheating than I thought. Once it's brought to my attention, now it's like,
that's a lot of cheating. The owner cheated.
The owner cheated. Yeah, he was out at the getting the massages.
Yep.
Jamal says this Big Ben doesn't like the Aller pick. Apparently, I will get into that here in a little bit, but he certainly had a few different opinions and words on that we find interesting. Let's scoot along a little bit. What did he say? Time right here. Let's go. Okay, perfect. I'm going to go here. Hand-John Quinn, what's up? Always great seeing Hand-John on the terrible board. He says if Rodgers signs, it will be May 28th. And here we are. That's 1 month from yesterday. Today is April 29th. Tyrone says, yeah, it was too funny last night. You watch film on our players, yet shaking my head. Tortilla says Big Ben said he only saw a few Penn State games, but what he saw didn't impress him. You know, he certainly gave his opinion, so we'll get into that shortly. Tyrone says, I'm going to send you film. Jamal, gotcha. Cody, the man, the menace. Cody in the house. He says this one has a drinking problem, the other one has a chocolate problem, and Ty loves JPJ. We got all kind of issues here at the Yinzers, but that ain't gonna stop us, baby. Christopher's my man. Always great seeing Christopher's in the house and on the board. He says, fellas, the comments I saw from these so-called Yinzers about the draft makes me feel like if they are Steeler fans at all, I feel like some of them are suffering from post-Tomlin syndrome. It's possible. And I kind of thought the same thing. But not really, because again, I agree. But on the other hand, I'm totally open to every opinion. And listen, when people know more about something than other people, you know, it can be frustrating by both parties. And that's the way I try to look at it, because at the end of the day, you know, it's not a competition. We all love our team, and but you're not wrong. People are being really crazy after this draft, as if it was a terrible draft. Maybe grabbing Aller with your third pick is a little bit of a stretch. Maybe, you know, I get it. I get it. So, again, that's kind of where I'm at. People are going to complain. They're going to give their opinion. But that is, again, why we do what we do. But ultimately, you're right. There's a lot of people complaining. There's a lot of people upset with the way things went as far as the way the Steelers drafted. But, you know, my mentality, Mike, is you just got to move forward. And that's the resolve, because at the end of the day, if we moan and bitch and complain and argue and fight, what is that going to change? I just think that we should start learning the players that we have and figuring out how they could benefit the team as we do move forward. But I agree, Christopher. Yeah, you see, it's kind of wild right now.
I have a feeling it's like that after every draft. Like, I think it's just more heightened now because, you know, the draft has become so ever present. I remember watching drafts in the late 90s and just being in the people I knew that were into the draft, and we'd be freaking out about every single pick. Why'd you get this guy? Why'd you get that guy? And it gets louder and louder every year, just because more and more people are now watching the draft and getting into it. There's more channels like us getting into the draft and stuff. So it's just more heightened. But after every draft, it just feels like everyone is either extremely loves it or extremely hates it. There's no like, let's wait and see. Everyone wants to scream, yes, it was the greatest draft, or it was the worst draft. But I get where you guys are coming from, but for me, I follow the draft year in, year out. It just, to me, it's just more of the same. You know, everyone's going to bitch or everyone's going to love it.
Yeah, you know, and I'm seeing a lot of justification, Mike, by analysts saying that they're really trying to justify and saying, you know what, the Steelers, this is not the worst thing that could happen with that first round pick. The situation that happened with the Eagles, the situation that happened with Mekhi Lemon. This isn't the worst thing ever, guys, because, you know, there's a chance he could shit out as a wide receiver. And there's a chance that Mad Max could be on our offensive line for the next 10 years. So at the end of the day, who's really the winner? You know, the shiny car always is going to grab your attention on the lot. But at the end of the day, when you got to get that work truck, you got to get something that's going to be reliable for the next 10 years. You know, it's not going to look great, but, you know, If the Ferrari breaks down in a couple of years, you have that work truck for the next decade. So you win. You ultimately win. And to be this upset at this point in the game, I don't know if it's worth being upset, because again, we have to watch this play out. And as you always say, Mike, it'll take about 2-3 years before we even get an understanding of what this draft class is going to do, be moving forward. I'm sure we'll see a lot more of Mekhi Lemon early. That's just the way the Eagles is set up right now, Mike. They can grab a guy like Mekhi, put him in their lineup, and he could be effective. People are going to look at that and say, look, this could have been our guy. But Philadelphia is in a way better position to grab pretty picks than we are. And that's just the luxury of building your team the right way, which we did for many years. And then we stopped. They're in that position where they're able to draft luxury. And so it may have worked out just right for the Steelers, despite what a lot of people think.
Yeah. And, like we said the last couple of days, I think they did us a huge favor, because if getting a tackle later in the draft, the return on investment, I think, would be so much lower than the potential return on investment with getting Mad Max in round 1. And in the, as he's been called, I saw in, I think, Alabama, they called him the incubator, because he's a germ, he's incubating, or the virus, or whatever they want to call him. Like, getting him in the second round was the best thing that happened to us, because I think you're gonna get so much. Because he was a borderline first round pick anyway. Max was a a first round pick grade anyway. So you got really good value there if they both pan out the way you think they do. And I think Bernard just plucks right into that number 3 spot right away and can thrive on the inside the way he did down in Alabama. And he has 2 vets on the outside. And, if Rodgers gets in there and those two can develop chemistry, I think it's going to be a really good pick right there. It worked out for the best for us. Because like I said, a lot of NFL insiders were like, oh my God, the Eagles probably did the Steelers a huge favor. So this isn't just me being a homer. It's just me reading what some of the guys who are more in tune to the league than I am are saying.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. So, I mean, at this point, I'm going to go with that. I'm just going to go with that within my own head to justify it, because at the end of the day, what am I going to do by getting mad? But this is where we're at, and I understand it. Like I said, I understand. I get it. I really do get it. Let's move along on the board. Tortilla says JPJ is going to lock Bernard up. I do want to say what's up to Christine. Go Black and Gold. Always great seeing Christine on the board. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says Big Ben is a Will Howard homer. Cody says Jeremy Bernard mid as fuck, he's saying. Cody, let's see what Cody's talking about here. He says, and Tyrone says Cody Hush called Cody mid after that. Cody says this, though. He says in return, he says Bernard is Juju like. Mike, is Bernard Juju like?
For play style?
I don't know.
Probably like a guy who's not afraid to go across the middle, catch the ball in the dirty part of the air. You get the ball in the tan, you can make a play. Yeah.
The thing about Juju,
I haven't seen Jeremy doing TikToks all over the place.
Listen, I didn't hate Juju either.
I thought Juju was a damn good number 2, number 3 player.
He really served his purpose when he was here. I got it. Whatever he's got to say about him after the fact, when he left, went here, went there, I don't know, but I didn't hate Juju, not at all.
I love Juju the player. Some of the antics got on my nerves, but even some of that stuff was lighthearted and fun and blown out of proportion.
Christine says this poutine. Richard, isn't poutine the fries and gravy that they eat in Canada?
Poutine. Punani.
Well, he is poutine, of course. So I'm just trying to figure if that was the joke or if that was just a misprint. Somber says LOL. Here we go. Let's say what's up to Somber. Always great seeing Somber on the terrible board. Tortilla says JPJ kills 99.9% of germs. And we got a Jeremy one. Let's go to Ty. Ty says this. I ain't going to do it today. Not going to work on me, Bernard. I ain't doing it today, he says. Let's go to Christine says, what's up to Sash? Cody says this. JPJ and Bernard have the same ceiling, both top 20 wide receiver and cornerbacks in the league. I think JPJ will be a little higher than that, but looking good so far. RB says Heinrich is going to have a bigger role than people think. It's going to take a Herculean effort from the Johnson to keep Heinrich from taking his spot. I agree. And again, I don't fully know, because we don't know what the new coaching staff is going to see, is going to think whenever they see and work with Caleb Johnson. Maybe they like him. Maybe they could figure out how to use him. Maybe. So again, at the end of the day, I don't disagree, RB. I do think that these I think everybody in this draft can probably make this team, Mike. And sometimes that happens, sometimes that doesn't happen. But at the end of the day, you got to slice it down to 53 when it's all said and done. And I think that this draft could all possibly make the team.
I think so too, because I think they're high on a lot of these guys. Wetchin being a 4th-round pick, he's going to have to completely shit the bed as a receiver to not make this team. Right now, you can put Nowakowski, slot him in right as the fullback. Both offensive linemen are making, your receivers making it, Aller's making it. The only question marks are Gabriel Rubio and the safety. Those are the two guys that you might have to sneak onto the practice squad.
Do you think they're going to want to keep the safety around, Mike, just because safety was a topic of conversation going into the draft, and they didn't get a guy that you could say could be the next coming at that position? But do you think they keep him around to work him, to see what he has, just because this is going to be an area that will be of concern, the safety position moving forward somewhat?
I think so, because you still haven't had, Darnell Savage has not signed yet.
You're right.
Sebastian Casher was an undrafted player last year out of the old coaching staff. So his roster spot is tenuous at best. So yeah, he could make the team. And if he makes the team, he's probably going to be your low end backup for a while. Probably won't see the field a whole lot. So, the forgotten guy of the draft is the cornerback, Dalen Everett.
Yeah.
Like, he can play inside, outside corner as well. I don't know if he ever played any safety in college, but you still have Ramsey can maybe kick back there. Spears, he might make the roster just based on number wise of like you need safety. So there is a high chance that all 10 could make their team, and that would be insane. And you can see a lot of them getting a lot of immediate playing time.
Let's do scoot along here, guys. Let's get to Somber. Somber says we're talking about Heinrich. He is not even a running back. Let's scoot along here, but they are, from what I understand, when I'm reading, Mike, they're going to open up the playbook for him. And again, if he looks good, he's going to be, maybe something that could be productive for you, kind of under the radar as you're preparing for DK and Pittman and the first receiver picked in this draft for the Steelers, Jeremy Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we will watch this all play out. Yinzer Joe says, at Sash, are you the same fellow that came to the draft and went into the DK sports store and interviewed with DK? Cody says this more towards the back end of 20, though. Christopher says this is a new coaching staff. Give them a chance to prove they know what they're doing. Are they Steeler fans at all? RB, you know what? This is always my opinion with the fans. I'm just glad that as many people have opinions as they do. Listen, the more people that have opinions, probably you're going to come across, just by law of nature, more people that you disagree with just because of law of average. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, it always gets me fired up that at least Steeler Nation has their focus. Mike, this is April 29th. The fact that we do have passionate people still talking about football right now and their Steelers, I take that. I do love that. I respect that. And again, I totally get your point, Christopher. And in the conversation, I with you and I could probably even swing around to say exactly what you're saying. But just off the top of my head, I just, I'm thrilled that Yinzer Nation is again as passionate as they are, Mike. Here it is, April 29. People fired up about their football team. You gotta love the passion. This is something that makes Pittsburgh unique and special. So, let's do scoot right here, RB. Roman fits the system. Johnson is a square peg in a round hole. Cody says Roman probably gets touchdowns on JPJ in training this year. Cody. Cody is starting with Ty. Ty says this, though. He says Eli will be special teams guy, maybe jet sweep, a game type stuff. And again, it's hard to say with new coaching staff. A lot of things we could say, well, he's going to do this, but we don't know. This is an offensive-minded coach. None of us, not Mike, nor myself, or anybody on the board, or anybody home, or in a car, or at work, has been alive when the Steelers had an offensive head coach. So everything that we know to this point in our life about this football team and everything that we've seen and been through, it has potential to be different.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these things that, and I'm guilty of it too, Ty, don't get me wrong. But a lot of times I have to stop myself and say, geez, we just don't know. This isn't the same team. This isn't even the same philosophy, Mike. The West Coast offense. Come on, it's a whole different system. So again, I always have to catch myself, but I do it all the time. I do it all the time. Oh, he's going to go here because we don't know now. We just don't know, and I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Let's go to RB. He says also Heinrich was a Navy ground gunnery. Navy ground gunnery. He says he was mandated to stay below 205 pounds. He expects to be 210, 215. Yeah. Now he no longer has to follow that. Finchy in the house. Always great seeing the Finch dog. My man. Finch says, fuck Philly. That's right. Fuck Philly. Fuck Philly. Fuck him. Ty says, Finchy to goat. Thank you. Finch says back. Also, let's go scooting forward here to Ty. Ty says, you got to get on the show soon. We miss you. Big dog. Let's see what Finchy says in return. He says this. I know, dude, my work schedule has been weird. And also, I've not done a good job paying attention to Steelers lately, so my info sucks. Hey, man, it's all good. Just get on and talk some shit, man. We'll have fun. We'll talk about Derpy. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. He says, rumor has it Rodgers and his fake wife are planning to have a fake child. At least he saves on money. Not a lot of money that's going to go into that child. Let's go here to Finch. He says, but I'll be back soon once things at work settle down. We are always excited to see Finch. Hope it's sooner than later. Let's go to Cody. Cody says this. What the hell is a Navy ground gunner? Cody first says this though. Hey Tyrone, your college coach runs jet sweeps. That's gonna be the new your mom goes to college. Your coach runs jet sweeps. Your mom goes to college. Let's go to RB. RB says, Mike, I watched even more Aller this week. Have you ever noticed how much better his throws are when he comes 3/4 with his delivery, 3/4 with his delivery? I believe he's primed for that Rodgers Shuck rework. Mike, your thoughts?
And those throws usually happen when he is playing out of the pocket, on the move, sliding, or under a little bit of pressure to where he has to just react and play football and find a guy and sling it. That's where some of his best throws have come, is from that motion. That usually is from him just not sitting back there thinking. And maybe if they could get him to like, hey, you see what you're doing when you have to slide and move and you're just out there playing football the way you did your entire life. This is how we want you to throw the whole time. And that's what the Packers did to Aaron Rodgers. Because when he came to the league, he was like the robo quarterback. Everyone in that era was, the ball was up here by your ear. The next thing you know, it's changed, launching the ball from different angles. There's stuff to work there with Aller. I hope they can get out of him. But what I saw from him at Penn State, I'm very, very pessimistic. But if there's any coaching staff that can do it, it's going to be the McCarthy staff. So hopefully they can get it out of there. But yeah, I 100% agree, RB.
Let's do Scott. Skip ahead here to. I'm going to go right past Christopher because I did get him just a few moments ago on this particular message. Let me go to RB. RB says this: quick chop steps, water base, 3/4 release, and whip and hip rotation. Finchy says this: time for A-Rod to shit or get off the pot. Just make a decision already, dude. You know, I don't disagree. Let's go to Han John. He says, first, let's pronounce his name correctly. It is Weegen, not Wet Gen. However, I'm going to call him Wet Gen because that was also what they called my high school prom date, was Wet Gen. So I'm going to stick with that. But much I consider. What am I trying to say? Thank you for the correction. I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I know it's Weegen, but every time I go to say it, I just want to say Wet Gen for some odd reason.
Because it's awesome.
Funny. It does. It is like awesome.
Let's go to but thank you, Han John. Somber says, you mean GM, Gunner mate. Ty, Aller is not as bad as people think. If Mike McCarthy can work with him, I see the potential. And that's what a lot of people are saying. If the coaches can work with him, the coaches can shape him and mold him and put him to where we need him to be. I'm hearing different things. But again, we'll get to all that here shortly. Let's go move along right here to right here. Tater. What's up, Tater? Always great seeing the tater on the board. Let's scoot along. Christopher says, "What?
You're like taters here. Let's scoot along."
I'm under the weather. I can't deal with him today. All right, let's go right here. Christopher says this is a new coaching staff. Give them a chance. Prove they know what they're doing. And that's where I'm at too. And that's where I'm at too. And listen, if this dude sucks in 5 years, fire him. Listen, you're never going to hear me say this guy, that guy. If they're not doing the job, getting the job done, you got to go. You got to go. I understand the Steelers love keeping their guys around for a million years. And you know what? It's because they have a good organization. They're able to do that. So, hoping the best for McCarthy. But at the end of the day, his contract comes to an end and we don't get to where just past certain thresholds that we need to pass after a decade. You know what? I'm not going to be somebody saying, "Oh, don't fire him." Let's see what he got. Hopefully he could do well. Hopefully he could get us back. First start is winning a playoff game, in my opinion, Mike. If we could go beyond that in the first year, but sooner than later, Mike, at the end of the day, you got to be able to do the job.
Yeah.
And in sports, people get fired all the time for not being able to get stuff done. So again, I love our coaches. I love them all. I love our organization. So let's see what Mike McCarthy can do. I'm here for it, as I was when I was a kid. Imagine hearing all these great Super Bowl stories of the 70s and your Super Steelers and your dad and your uncles and your brothers all telling you about the great days. And then you say, "Oh my God, there's a guy named Bill Cowher. What is this? Well, he's from Pittsburgh. Let's give him a chance." And he ended up being just fine, and we loved him. So I think that McCarthy can grow on us as well. If we could get over somebody that takes the great Chuck Knowles job, I think we could get into Mike McCarthy. At least we could give him a chance. That's all we can do, Mike, and that's all we could ask for, correct?
That's all you can is and give him a chance and see how it goes.
I couldn't agree more. What are you going to do? That's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. Let's do it, and if he can get it done, he gets it done. Great. If not, we move along. Let me go. Where am I going to go? Let's go here. Okay, let's go to Ty. Ty says, "Facts, Finch. A-Rod gets on my damn nerves. It's either you want to play or you don't." That's my natural instinct. That's what I want to say. But at the end of the day, trying to put together, thoughts and ideas to talk about, I could leave that. But that's my home base. That's my opinion. Shit, or get off the pod, bro. It's not Pee-wee's. It's not Pop Warner. It's not well, let me see if my dad's going to be on vacation to see if I can play that. No, this is kind of a big deal. In my opinion, get it figured out, bro. If not, go bye-byes. Let's go to RB. RB says this, Somber, I'm not 100% sure, but I imagine he is sent in to clear benches or some shit. But he said he was on the ground gunnery unit, even though he wanted to be cybersecurity. He wanted to do. Mark Malone, he says, Mark Malone, what's up, bro? Always great seeing Mark Malone. I hope things went well. I know that you were saying the weather was a bit dangerous out your way early in the week. I hope things are going well for you. He says the tag just covers their asses in the comp. And exactly. Cody says this, I hope number 8 comes back. Do you think he still got it? I think you're going to get what you got. And maybe a little bit more because more weapons, Mike. Do you start to see Aaron Rodgers aging at 43 if he comes back? Or do you see him just as good or better this year because more weapons are added and a team that might cater to his to the offense and to him, obviously? At what point is he going to start looking like a quarterback, a player in his 40s, basically?
Right. You saw glimpses of it when, he was afraid to take the hits. We saw that at Ben towards the end too, where he was afraid to hang in the pocket sometimes, like because you're just old. You get tired of getting hit, and some of that's starting to show. He still can process as a young man out there. He still sees the game at a fast, high level. He still has the arm talent, the arm strength. I sometimes I thought that came and went last year, but was that the system? Was that the decree of the coaching staff is play it safe? So it's hard to tell. Is it him? Was it the coaching staff? Was it the offense? I'm leaning towards it was like the design of the offense of like just play it smart, play it safe. And I want to give him a chance this year. I kind of want him out there because I think he gives us the best chance to win now. But I also wouldn't be opposed to him not coming back and see what these guys have to get us into the future.
See, this is where I'm at. That's why I'm indifferent. I'm like, ultimately, I'm like, shit, get off the pot. I like to see the team go without him. But if he does come back, I'm ultimately okay with it. I understand where we are in the process. And again, if we do find somebody that we like next year in the draft, it's hopefully going to make things start moving in that direction for us. So again, we will see. Tyrone asked, is A-Rod washed? I think basically that's what I was trying to ask. Mike did address that, of course. Yinzer Joe says that the Steelers didn't upfront tell or talk to Rodgers' agent about doing this. Then I could see it going bad, but I think it was for the best of the organization to do so. I ultimately think you're right as well, Joe. Dude says this, it's all orchestrated. Ugh, they know. And you know what? They might. That's kind of, I don't know. That's just kind of where I was at. I thought that they had more information than they did. Where are we going? Where are we going? Right here to Somber. Somber says this. He basically is a reservist anyway. He won't do anything real until he's out of the NFL, and he'll be a Marine. When it happens, he hasn't seen the fleet yet. Mark Malone says, yeah, he won't sign until mandatory mini camp. That's about Rodgers. Cody says this. Everything will be okay as long as we got number 8. Cody follows it up by saying Lou Nichols going to take Caleb Johnson's spot, dude. It's safe. There you go. Lou Nichols, Mike.
Well, that's RB's guy. I think RB had him as your number 3 back in the B. John Robinson class. I mean, he showed flashes. It's just kind of hard for me to get excited about someone who's been in the league with a couple years now, bounced around from 2 or 3 teams, and hasn't established himself. But that happens sometimes. Guys get lost in the wake, and maybe he'll get a fresh shot in here because I like what we saw from him against the level of competition he was playing against. So I'd like to see him get some reps against 2s and maybe some 1s to see if there is more there than what some of us think. I'm all for trying out a bunch of different lineup combinations in this preseason to see what kind of talent we have on this team and can it be unlocked in a new system.
I like Lou Nichols as well. Mine was just based off of performance. I seen him seeing the field better than the other running backs in the preseason last year, and I seen his acceleration and his playmaking ability also really showing themselves last year. I thought Lou Nichols, he could certainly be on a roster somewhere, depending on no matter what your opinion is of what he should be on this team. Lou Nichols should be in the NFL somewhere. I'm all on that boat. Let's go to RB. He says this summer, from what I understand, he will perform reservist duty in the offseason for 8 years, then be eligible for retirement. But there is something that will make him eligible for an early discharge. Cody says Mike beats to the drum of Penn State. He does. And I can't hate on him for that.
Yeah. We all know I'm an Indiana Hoosier fan through and through, baby. Through and through.
You were an Indiana Hoosier fan because you wanted the Big Ten to look good is the only reason. Because you think that makes Penn State look better somehow.
Just because I was fucking tired of losing, man. I was tired of losing.
No, I hear you. I do.
You know how it be.
Yeah. Somber says, yeah, that's what I read as well. Also, RB says, based off his job performance, it's a lot of gray area shit, and I don't understand military stuff in the slightest, so I might be interpreting it wrong. Mark Malone, I don't know, man. I'd be okay with moving forward if we had back. For a guy that can't see forward.
You're not getting it. Yeah, I'm not putting that picture up.
I made him destroy it. It's gone forever.
It's been burned from the channel.
Mark Malone he gets a kick out of that when you put that picture up.
I know. I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to give it to him.
Not going to give him the satisfaction, huh? Let's go right here to Somber. Somber says very light reservist duties in the off season. Let's go right here. Somber, probably a weekend or 2. Cody Cool Tone Diggs said he don't want to be here. Fug him. Live on McAfee. Oh, live on McAfee. Gotcha. RB says, yep, I only know this because he was one of my favorite players in the entire draft. So I dug into some of his shit early, and I think it's what kept him from going earlier. Let's go right here. Yinzer Joe, without Rodgers on the team, I feel like we're wasting the talent of the veterans that are on the team. I think they feel like there is a window to winning it all. Bingo, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Bingo Winchester on the terrible board. He says, I know there might be a little bit of hope maybe, but I don't hate our draft could have been better for sure, but good pieces moving forward, and I don't hate any of the picks. Do you think that we got what we needed though? I think ultimately that should be the question we ask ourselves. Getting the trophy pick like Mekhi Lemon would have been something. But getting guys, at that point, and people, are going to say, well, Mad Max wasn't one of the better tackles. If we would have waited another round, the level of tackle that lineman that we got to fill the hole might not have been as good as Mad Max. So again, filling the holes is ultimately, until you get this team to where it's comfortable, then you can start making luxury picks. I don't think that this was a bad draft. You have to draft accordingly. You have to get what you need. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting here all season going, okay, well, next year we'll get an offensive line, and next year we'll be able to protect our quarterback's backside. You got to kind of keep up with the Joneses in a sense. And Philadelphia, they've been through it, Mike. They've built their team, and they've built their interior lines, and then they started getting their skill players, and then things go a little bit easier. So they have to get back on that track, as we were on that track for decades. I thought we went through decades of doing very well of next guy up, next person steps up and is able, and the Steelers have generally done that well. Yeah. And so again, for them to get back to that point is whenever they're going to be able to turn around and start making more luxury picks, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we made a couple luxury picks in the draft. So that kind of tells me they like some of the depth they have in certain areas, like Wetchen in the 4th round. That's kind of a luxury pick right there. It tells me adding Bernard, they think the receiver core is an okay kind of mix, because Weegen's just going to be a returner primarily. They might see something out of Roman Wilson that they like, and maybe even Ben Sco. So Weegen, they could have won a receiver there, but hey, let's get a returner because we need a returner. Let's quote unquote overspend on it. So I think they're kind of liking their depth in certain areas to where that's a luxury pick. So, and then next year, if things pan out right and guys develop right, next year you can see even more of those types of picks, because I think this roster is finally starting to round out. After the Colin Weedle, this is their 4th draft. I think they've kind of started to reshape the roster into what Art wanted, what they wanted, a little bit of what Tomlin wanted, a little bit what McCarthy wants, to where it's coming into a full clear view of this is what the team we're going to be going forward. We like a lot of these guys on here, and now we can start getting a little bit of luxury here and a luxury there. Whereas next year we probably could do a lot of luxury picks, especially if one of these two quarterbacks pans out, where we won't have to use a 1st rounder on a quarterback next year.
I mean, you can always make luxury picks. You can make luxury picks this year. The fact of the matter is, take a look at Cleveland. Just take a look at some of the teams that generally draft that way, without building from the inside out, building a solid foundation. You see what happened to the teams that go out, and the Arizona Cardinals. Oh shit, we're getting Marvin Harrison Jr. This is going to be great. We're going to be no, you're not. You're going to be the Arizona Cardinals. You're going to be the same team that you've been for the last 4 decades. There's just teams that get it. There's just teams that don't. In the draft situation, I think that you have to pay attention to the teams that do it right. In Philadelphia, Mike, they've been knocking it out of the park for the last 6, 7, 8 years, and it's showing on the football field. Again, go out and get your pretty players at the beginning, and you're going to, again, if you don't have it all together, you look like the Browns. You look like the Cardinals. You got to do what you got to do. Getting the stuff done that you don't want to do is an important part of life. And that's one of the things that we learn is you just got to do the shit that you got to do. You get that done, and then you can play. With school, with work, with everything. So I don't think it's any different here when you look at it from that way, from that direction. Let's get back on the board. We got a lot of things to get into today, guys. Welcome to the show. Glad to see everybody. Glad to see everybody on this April 29th, smack dab in the middle of the offseason, guys. I couldn't be more excited to see everybody talk about the Steelers, get into it, and try to figure out what the hell is going to go down with the black and the gold moving forward. Mike, we are under a new coaching staff. We have hit the free agency mark. We have hit the NFL draft right here in Pittsburgh. So, Mike, from moving forward, we have rookie camp, we have OTAs, we have the NFL schedule dropping here in a couple of weeks. We have some things coming down the pike, but Mike, a majority of the work for the personnel, it's here. This is what we have. Yes, we're probably going to sign this guy, bring that guy back, bring this person back. I mean, John Rice Plumlee will probably be back on the practice squad at some point as he was last year. So, I mean, things are going to start working in that way. But, Mike, the personnel of the team is in place. We have a coaching staff. We have a group of guys. We have a group of rookies. We're going to start bringing it together soon, and hopefully we can do this football thing better than 31 other teams do this year, because I know that, Rooney wants to stay competitive, and I want to win, and you want to win, and everybody wants to win. So we're very excited, Mike, even if it is only April 29th.
Dude, can't it be training camp already?
I know.
Because like you said, man, we want to win, we want to compete, but it all starts there. And I just can't wait to see how these guys look out there in the practice field, how well they move in drills. How are they going to, transition from college to the pros? That's a big jump. Are they going to be nervous in practice? Are they going to be nervous in those first couple weeks of training camp? Who's going to figure it out quick? Who's going to be that long developmental prospect that's going to give us headaches during training camp that we expected much for? There's a lot coming up, man. I want it here. I want it now. I just want to see these guys compete. I want to see how McCarthy runs his camps. I'm ready for some live action football, dude. I'm ready for pads to be a popping.
I'm ready for the pads popping too, Mike. That reminds me of a game I put together the other day. We're not going to do it today, but I have a game that I did put together. We're going to do here on the show. And it might not even give you any kind of hint of what it may be by just talking about pads popping, but it made me remember that. And we do have something fun in that line. But Mike, this week the draft is important. This week the players that were drafted is important. This is where we're at this year. Let me grab some more messages. We have a lot to get into today. I want to get your grades today on our draft picks. We're going to talk about the list of undrafted free agents that we've got since the draft, and we're going to take a little look around the division to see who was successful in the AFC North when it came down to draft weekend last week, guys. Let's get back on the board. Let's get back to it. Somber says this. He said in an interview that nothing will distract him from the season, so that's all I really care about. Ty says that's good. Then bingo. He says he did gamble and he lost, threw away his whole future. And you know what? At the end of the day, whatever my opinion is, you got to abide by the rules. Mm-hmm. I say it's okay. It's not gambling if it's not on your team, but unfortunately, I'm not the one that makes the rules.
Yep. You may not agree with him, but you still gotta abide by him if you want to continue that field of work.
I agree. Let's go here. Black Magic Jamal. He says, "Hey, I saw Film Bro. It just highlights. Everyone looks good." And that's exactly it.
Yep.
They literally take the 10 best things that you ever did and put it on one video. Somber says this. Brendan Parlay Sorsby. Brendan Parlay Sorsby.
I like that one.
Ty says, that's not film, LOL. Let's do Scoot here to RB. RB says this. Hey, at least you know that Jamal. Hey, at least you know that Jamal. Most people think a 8-minute highlight reel is what the kid is. Tyrone says, I mean, actual film, I'll send you some shit when I get home. Shake my head. Tortilla says this. We'd sign Sorsby and he'd bet on Will Howard to start. Jamal, he says, it's all rigged. I think there are things that are rigged, of course. I think that corruption is it's unfortunately pretty normal in this freaking world anymore. But let's go here to Christopher's. Guys, Pete Rose is not in the Baseball Hall of Fame because of gambling, and he deserves to be there 100%. I couldn't agree more. For what he did while playing the game of baseball, he did better than any other person in the history of baseball. For that reason alone, his name should be in the Hall of Fame. The gambling, okay, it was a boo-boo. It was a bad mark on his career. But for what he accomplished in baseball, you can't take that away. Fuck, come on. Yeah. The guy has more hits than anybody ever in the history of baseball. That guy should be in the Hall of Fame. Listen, I don't even care. Is O.J. Simpson in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
In the NFL? I mean, come on. The guy apparently, supposedly murdered somebody. So again, at the end of the day, if you belong there, you belong there. You belong there. If Aaron Hernandez did something that put him, Mike, that he should be in the Hall of Fame, I would say you belong. If you earned that work by your work,
yeah,
there's no reason you shouldn't be recognized for it.
No, and you on their plaque, you put all their stuff, and then you also acknowledge why it's a controversial
You're right.
inclusion. You don't run from it. Just put it out there, like, yeah, this is controversial because of Pete Rose is in here, controversy because as a manager he bet on the Reds, but not as a player, or stuff like that. You include it. It's it happened during their playing days, their managing days, during their career. It's who they were as a football player, baseball player, basketball player, whatever. So include it in their little part of
With
the
that
Hall of
being
Fame.
said, Mike, with that being said, I also think that Bill Belichick should be in the Hall of Fame. I
Yeah.
think it's funny that they're
Yeah.
going to drag him through the dirt.
Yes.
Am I going to enjoy it 100%? And I
Yeah.
hope it goes on for years. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what he got done, whether it was right, whether it was ethical, whatever, he got it done. So that deserves to be to have attention, certainly by the NFL Hall of Fame. But again, I am all aboard watching this thing play out for the next 5 years if they want to do it, dragging him and let him kick and scream a little bit before they let him go into the Hall of Fame, Mike. So again, interesting, very interesting to say the least with them Patriots. Yep. Always keeping it interesting.
They are, man. They're towing the line.
Toeing the line. Christine says this: you have to throw a buddy on the other team that throws it for you to win. It destroys the integrity of football. That's why it is not allowed. Investigate. Everyone's sports betting is destroying football. It's an interesting take, and the thing I'm not going to disagree. What you just said makes sense, but at the end of the day, there's just some guys that they belong. They belong in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose is one of them, and it's been how long since the guys even played baseball? Since the 80s. At some point, all right, he's dead. He's gone. Throw his name in the Hall of Fame because of what he accomplished. RB, somber, it doesn't concern me at all, but I think teams aren't well versed on the new laws and didn't want to step up in something they don't know about. Christine, she says this: Tomlin will never coach again. Why would he? Let's go to Ty. Ty says facts. Christine, somber says, could you fucking imagine if he went to the Patriots? It would be something. I can tell you that. RB says Tomlin is egomaniac. That's why. Tyrone says Tomlin might next year. To be honest, whatever he's going to do, he's going to do it again. As I said, Mike, when he left, whatever he does, I wish him the best. So if it's in the media, if it's on the field, I hope the gentleman nothing but the best in his life. Let's go to Somber. He says, okay. Or he says, you think that's why he fell? Gotcha, RB. RB says this in response. He says, yeah, man, there's no other reason. Talent-wise, the kid was a fourth-round talent. I just think the teams didn't want to deal with all the red tape and gray area stuff, like what happens if he gets called to duty or something, is what he follows up by saying.
Yeah, because he's like in the reserves now, to where I don't think there's a chance of him being caught up. The way, like the stuff I read, but I don't understand all that.
But again, Mike,
military legal jargon either, and what's going on in the world right now too. I don't know what's going on.
Exactly. Just because again, we're going off of what we generally know. I mean, the world is in different situations than we've ever seen it in our life right now. So again, it's a hard call to make because again, I just don't know the legalities of everything. Could very well be a Rocky Blyer situation, as some people are comparing. Let's go to. Sombry says this possibly due to a comp as well. I don't know. We got a steal though. Christine says this: everybody likes to go to rehab after they get busted to save their career. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
She says phony ass bullshit. I have a gambling problem too. I should get disability because it's. I know. At what point do you take it? At what point do you take responsibility for your own action?
Hey man, is this cat gonna pull the Mike Vrabel? I'm going to rehab for my sex addiction. Go for a Saturday and be back Sunday. We're ready for work. That's what this kid should do. Pull the Mike Vrabel. Go for a day and come out. I'm cured. I'm ready to go.
Let's go here to Kirsty. I'm sorry, to Ty. Ty says, yeah, I like Eli. Yeah, like Eli. Bingo says the variable situation is a perfect example of people hating the player instead of the game. Of course, I'm quite the cocksmith myself, Bingo says. Let's go here to RB. He says, that's for sure. I don't think he will ever be a feature guy anywhere, but he's a good 5 to 12 touches a game, and that's a damn good contributor. Absolutely, especially if he could make the best of those 5 to 12 touches. Somber, just a PR move, Christine. I guarantee that wasn't his idea. Somber follows it up by saying, I can't wait to see Caden and Eli back there returning kicks side by side. What a duo. Christine says 100%. Ty says, me too, Somber. We finally got a return game. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Let's go here to Somber, where he says, correct, Mike. This happens every year. Tortilla says 100%. Ty says, I like Bernard more anyway. I'm chilling. Mark Malone, yeah, I really don't think Lemon will be that great in the pros. Bingo says, I was okay with the Steelers missing Lemon the second I heard him speak. He's a drama bomb waiting to go off. Let's go here to Mark Malone. As long as Mad Max isn't the second coming of Bro Buster. Oh, yeah. Could you imagine? Let's go to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says this: we had the same faith in Broderick Jones that we do in Mad Max. They are similar in a lot of ways. I don't see it working out well. Man, I hope those last two messages don't really manifest. Good, Mike.
It's an entirely new coaching staff, too. It's gonna, and they're two entirely different people. Broderick Jones has been playing football his entire life. This guy's been playing football for 3 years and was already a first-round draft pick and had skills comparable to, if not better, than a lot of guys drafted in this draft class that won ahead of him. So don't just look at, oh my God, he's a prospect. Oh, he's just like Broderick Jones. Look at the whole picture. Look at the context around it, guys. You know. Is there a chance he could fail? Yes, but that can happen with every single pick in this draft. So let's not fall down the doom hole right now. Give him a chance, boys.
Tyrone says every time I watch more film on Bernard, that boy a cold one. Now I like him, dude. I'm excited about Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and he's not put in a position, Mike, to be the great receiver right out the gate. You know, you do have DK now, you do have Pittman now, and as I said yesterday, you can allow Jeremy to evolve as an NFL quarterback as the time goes on, as years go on, and DK has to move along, and Pittman has to move along, and he can work his way up to that number one, and then you draft after him. Again, I'm not upset with this draft, Mike. Not so much. Again, the anger a lot of people have, I don't find it warranted at this point anyway. We'll take a look and see once they start playing football and we get to see them on the field. But right now, I'm not angry. Angry would definitely not be the word to describe how I feel about this year's NFL draft.
Me either, man. Me either. I'm excited about this draft class.
And I have to jump ahead right here because Bingo might just got the game ball. Bingo says as long as Mad Max doesn't tackle his own quarterback, he's better than Jones. You're very close to winning the game ball of the day with that one, Bingo. Remember that. Let's hope we don't have to see that again. Somber says this: he's never had on or off the field issues. It's okay to say you don't like Lemon, but don't lie. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says, Yinzer Joe, I disagree. Max way better than Jones, and we have a better offensive line coach. He's fine. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says this. Yes, Yinzer Joe. He says, if, a lot of hoping in one hand and shit in the other. Tyrone says, yeah, we'll see. And at the end of the day, that's ultimately the answer. That's the only thing that we can do. Let's wait and see. Tortilla, he says this, yeah, we make wide receivers crazy. It's something in the water milk. I'm going to grab a few more messages, Mike. We are going to get into these draft picks again tomorrow. Tomorrow, RB, our draft specialist, will be with us right here on the show to go give us his assessment of how the draft looked for him. We'll get grades from him on how he feels all 10 draft picks were for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike and I are going to give it a early go today. We'll be doing that here shortly, but I'm going to grab some more messages. Somber says poutine, pootie tang, same thing. LOL. Let's go to RB. RB says this: Bernard is more of a Heinz Ward than a Juju. Bernard can create separation for himself. I can't wait to see a guy that can create separation. This was a bit of a problem with our receiving room for the past couple of years. A couple of years with the Romans and the Terrell, with the Calvin Austins. I'm sorry. Those guys wasn't able to get the best separation. Also, he goes on to say he is excellent running in traffic, has great hands, very willing blocker, and has a niche for finding the soft zones. Are all good. That's all good reports to me.
Just go and watch the film on him. Watch highlights as well. Find some games from Alabama last year. Just watch him play. Ooh, he's fun. He is fun.
Let's go to Tyrone. Says Bernard's like Debo Samuel. You know what? And I would have no problem with that. I like Debo. Of course, he's had his injury issues and that. But ever since San Fran beat us, 30-3, about 4 years ago to kick off the season, I've always respected Debo Samuel. Let's go here to Tortilla. Bernard like Calvin Austin III, but taller, better, faster, and stronger. Those are all listen, those were only the things that we needed Calvin Austin to be better at. Was to be a little bit taller, a little better, a little faster, and a little stronger. So, you know what, Tortilla, we might have got our guy. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says, hello, Cody. If you really tried, that's funny. You can't get me any more. RB, I'm telling you, Everett is going to be a free safety. That's totally not out of the question. Sommer, he's a better route runner than Debo, but the Yak, yeah, I see it a bit. Tyrone says, I don't know about that, Tortilla. Somber Spears will be a gunner if nothing else. Tyrone says, agree Somber after watching a lot of him. That's the comp. I got Tortilla, JPJ with hands. JPJ with hands. I want to see JPJ with hands. I think that could be
right.
That could be a lot of fun. Lindsay, always great seeing Lindsay on a terrible board. How are you? She says, hey, great seeing Lindsay as always. Hey, Lindsay, it's mid-off season. And here we are in here fighting and debating the Steelers. You got to love it. You got to love it. I know I sure do. Let's do Scoot Along. RB says Spears is also a 3-year punt protector with which will clear space for some of the picks to have spots and make Homer expand. I keep forgetting about that Homer. I forgot about
Homer. The Hummer.
And the
Hummer and
best season in years. I hope you're right. I sure hope you're right. I mean, come on. I think we'll all be happy. Tyrone, well. Hey, Lindsay, look who just walked through the door. Tyrone says, still loyal, my man. Always great seeing still loyal. He is the one that opened the floodgates yesterday for Tyrone's crash out. I want to say thank you. Thank you for sending that in to us, Steel. Great seeing Steel loyal. He says this, Jeremy Bernard is Jeremy Bernard. No one like him. All right, that's fair enough. Let's go here. Lindsay had to actually do some work. It's all good, man. Got to do what you got to do. Tyrone says, I can't wait till they drop the jerseys for rookies. Who knows, man? There might be some out there already. Keep your eyes open online. Lindsay said this, you and Steele getting them all, Ty. He says, I'm getting 2. He said, I ain't playing. I'm getting 2 of them. Max and Bernard, Tortilla says Bernard and Claypool, but straight or Bernard's like Claypool. You know what? If it's Claypool the first 7 games of his career, I'm in. You remember the first 7 games of Chase Claypool's career, Mike, was pretty promising.
It was very, very promising. You're like, oh my God, we got a guy. We got ourselves a stud. We got someone like in the vein of like a Martavius Bryant, and then it just completely shit the bed. Wasted potential, that guy. That's the epitome of his career, wasted potential.
I loved him at first. I thought, my God, we have something special here. I am so happy. And then he just shit the bed. Like, what the hell? What the hell was what even was that? How frustrating. Yinzer Joe, he says this, we plan on starting a rookie tackle who hasn't played very many games of football, probably never seen the snow before either. He's gonna have to grow up fast. And you know what? And you're not wrong, Joe. But on the other hand, Mason McCormick was the same situation. This dude was not even supposed to be a starter as drafted, whatever round he was in, because you figure their big guy in the draft that year, of course, was Zach Frazier, and Zach Frazier wasn't even the number 1 pick that year. So at the end of the day, you throw a guy like McCormick. There's some people, if you got it, you got it. Some people, they don't. Mason McCormick was able to step in and as a later pick, wasn't even supposed to be on the football field, more than likely, got thrown in as a starter. And, so if it happens, it happens. There's just no way to monitor these things until we see the guys on the football field and they perform. But at the end of the day, that's all we can do. I hope that Mason, 4th round, there you go. Mason was a fourth round guy that wasn't supposed to be starting. And he's part of this line now. He's a part of the group of hogs that we're going to have here for quite a few years. So again, he's got to grow up fast. Absolutely. But it's not out of the question. It's not, Broderick just might be a disaster. That's all. And if he is, he is. I don't know. There's not much else you could do. Somber, Navy, and Eli lining up on the outside, and he actually looked decent. Take competition into account. His release and speed look good. Don't need to clean up his route running. He drifts a little, Somber says. Tyrone, he says he'll be fine. Yinzer Joe, Bernard mid as fuck is what Cody is saying. Tyrone says, Cody, that don't work anymore, brother. Let's go here to Cody says, yeah, Tortilla, except Claypool was good in college and his first 7 games. Listen, Mike, if his career was his first 7 games, Chase Claypool would be in the Hall of Fame.
He would be. He would, well on his way to the Hall of Fame. Chase Claypool was, but who knows what the fuck happened to him?
One of the greats, if you would have just gone by the first 7 games,
right?
All right, let's go here. Tyrone says, I'm sorry, right here, Still Loyal. He says, Cody, we all gonna remember this, rage bait or not, laugh my ass off. We will all remember. We grabbed a couple more, Mike, and we're gonna get into these draft picks here. Tyrone, we all hip to you. We're all hip to you, Cody. Ty says, them troll days are over. You might want to retire. Cody says, retire in my prime? There's no way. I didn't think Cody would take that deal. No way. Somber says Cody will be trolling when he's 60. That's the Cody I know. Tyrone says not anymore though. All right. Still Loyal, Cody turning into Driftwood. Cody says this, I'll be trolling when I'm Somber's age. Let's go to here. Cody is a Driftwood cousin. Tyrone says Tortilla. A-Rod is still waiting for a bathroom stall.
Those goddamn bathroom stalls.
They got to have bathroom stalls for older people. I mean, come on. He's not old, but what if you got to hold your piss and you're just saying. Let's go to Tortilla. He said, I'm sorry, let's go to end of days. Who will be the starter, Aller or Howard? Boy, is that the $1 million question. Mike, let's take this opportunity to jump and look at what we got going on in the draft. Let's go through 10 guys. I'm going to come to you with the guys. I'm going to come to you with their name. We'll talk briefly about the player. And we will go through the 10 and give them grades. Again, RB, the draft specialist, will be in tomorrow with us. He's going to give us his full assessment on what the draft, on how we did. He's going to give individual players grades and so forth. So we're looking forward to that. However, we're going to do our best, Mike, to do the same on our end today. I'm going to give you some names. You're going to give me your opinion. You're going to let me know what the grade is for the Steelers players that we drafted, Mike. First of all, Mad Max, controversial because of the way that the draft went, and the Philadelphia Eagles leapfrogged us. Mekhi Lemon goes to the Eagles. Mike, Mad Max, our number 1 pick overall at 21. What do you give Max as a grade?
I keep going back and forth on this one. When I wrote my write-up yesterday, I gave him an A-, but I think I'm going to go with after thinking about it another day, just a B+. Solid pick, a lot of upside there, but also a little room to where might not live up to the expectations we need. But, we do have a new coaching staff in. I like our offensive line coaches. He's going to be working with Jari Evans. He's a Hall of Famer from the Saints. Hopefully he can get a lot out of Max Ianachor, excuse me. I'm going B+ right now just because the more I think about it, there is that chance to where it might not work out. So that's why it's going to be a B+. But I think it's high potential. I think it's going to be I like the pick, man. I like it, but B+.
You know what? And that's where I'm at too, Mike. I ultimately gave a B+ on this one as well. I think that this is just something that we needed to do. Was it ideal? No. Was it the best person available at that position in the draft? No. But it was what it was. We went in with the game plan. We stuck to our game plan, trusted the process, got the lineman, filled the hole. Whatever happens. We're going to figure all that out once the guys get out on the field, Mike. We got players. We got linemen. We're going to make it. We're going to see if it improves moving into this season, because the offensive line is certainly one of the most important but underrated parts of a football team, all in all. So, Mike, I give him a B+ as well. Let's go to our number 2 pick overall, and that was number 47 overall, Mike. This is Jeremy Bernard from Jeremy Bernard. Now, a lot of controversy here because, again, at the end of the day, Mike, Omar Cooper was still sitting there as we picked. With Omar Cooper Jr., I think he went like right after us.
Yeah, after.
Okay, well, that's beside the point. The point being, Mike, we're talking about Jeremy Bernard and Mekhi Lemon, and that whole situation played out.
Yeah.
So what I want to get to is the guy that's on our team. Let's talk about Jeremy Bernard, Mike. Let's talk about the grade you give him. Where is this going to all fall into place with the Steelers? Because, again, filling another necessary hole.
Yeah.
Mike, not pretty, not the Mekhi Lemon of the draft, but at the end of the day, the hole is filled. What's the grade that you would give GB?
B+, A- in that range. Like Somber and RB were talking on the board. Like, he's a really good player. Shifty route runner, subtle, can find the zones, great hands, only one drop. And last year, he had one of the highest catch rates he had one of the quarterbacks thrown to him where they were off target. He had the highest off target rate, but also one of the highest catch rates in the NFL. So sure-handed receiver. I like it. I don't think he will ever be a true number one. I think his ceiling is a number two, but one hell of a number two. Elite number three right now in the NFL. So this is a B plus A minus for me.
All right. You know what? I'm going to go just because I'm very excited to draft a wide receiver. And listen, he's not a bad wide receiver. This isn't a fifth. It's not a sixth. It's not a late round receiver. I'm going to give him an A. I like it. I'm excited to get a wide receiver in here. He's very talented. Of course, Mike, seeing him play in college. So I'm giving him an A. Let's go to our third pick overall. Now, this was I don't hate it. I just didn't care for it right here. Number 3 overall for the day. I mean, this is the third position in a draft, Mike, is people that you expect to be pretty active and playing on your team and to be able to be productive somewhat immediately. Drew Aller, Mike, I think a little stretch at this point. He could have certainly got picked up later on in the draft, a little bit further down the road. And even if you didn't get him, there might have been somebody else that you like still in the draft as far as quarterbacks. Mike, what do you grade the draft pick that is Drew Aller? Drew Aller, that ultimately was number 76. Again, you're looking for the hunt, going through the 100 best players at this point, as we had 5 picks in that range. So what grade do you give Drew Aller?
Like I said on the website, I'm changing my grades a little bit here. I gave it a B initially. Now I'm getting to like a C plus right now. He was drafted in the high end range of where he was kind of predicted to be drafted on. Quarterbacks tend to get overdrafted, so I can see why they traded up to get him. This tells me that McCarthy liked him, so Omar Khan got his coach, the quarterback that they like. A lot of upside there. A lot of upside. He's a coachable player. You see traits there, but he needs a lot of coaching. And were those big game moments where he kind of choked? Was that him? Was that the system? Was that not having talent around? Is it a combination of all three? Time will tell. I'm giving it a C plus right now. For me right now, I think his ceiling is high quality backup, low end starter, but if they can get something out of him, it could be more. But I'm going C plus right here. This is my least favorite pick of the draft.
Listen, I'm right there with you. I think that he falls in the C range, but I'm going to give him a C, a straight C. It's not going to be a C plus. Yeah. It's not going to be a C minus. I just don't like where he was drafted. If we would have got him later, that's fine. Again, it is what it is. We're kind of there with our quarterback spot. It could have been him. It could have been Beck. It could have been a handful of different guys. I just not into the idea. A couple of things on him, Mike. He does struggle in big game situations. This is one thing I keep reading over. It seems like he panics or freaks out or something in big game situations. Where in the NFL, every game is a big game situation, so to speak. So for these reasons, I'm going to keep it very average as far as my grade goes. Maybe a little bit higher than what I'm happy giving. But Mike, I am going to give him a straight C on this pick for Drew Aller. Let's wait. And the thing is, we're going into uncharted waters again with all these young quarterbacks, rookies, and then again with the draft coming next year. So I don't want to, because we just don't know. We don't know what the hell is going to happen with Will Howard, with Drew Aller, with the quarterback situation. I'm going to go with the C. I'm going to keep it safe. Let's go to the next pick, Mike. This is the 85th pick overall. This is somebody that RB was talking about on the board. Dalen Everett, Mike. He is the third round pick for us. The cornerback, Dalen Everett.
I really like this pick. For me, he's the forgotten man of this draft. He can play inside. He can play outside. He's not afraid to come up and tackle. Might not be the best tackler right now, but willing tackler. Always tends to be around the ball. He's had some big-time interceptions, big-time fumble returns. He needs work done, but I like this grade a lot. I can give him a solid B right here. I think he's going to fit in nice because he doesn't have to start right away. And Porter, Dean, Asante Samuels, Eccles, he can just come in and be a guy right now. He doesn't have to be the guy, but I think he's a potential long-term partner to to JPJ. I think this is a damn good pick where we got him.
Let me just jump. I'm gonna call. I'll get to it when I get to it. Let's get back on here. Let's go. I'm gonna give. I like it. I like the pick. I know that we needed something back there, Mike. I'm gonna give him a B. I wasn't even paying attention actually when you said what your grade was. I'm gonna give him a B. What was your grade?
A B.
Okay, I'm going to be as well. Let's go, Mike, to this next pick. I'm going to give him an A just because you have to. Just because everywhere I'm going, I'm already seeing mullet talk, Mike, and we've been talking mullets for years here. But the rest of Yinzer, the Yinzerverse is going to catch on, Mike, because now Dunker is a Pittsburgh Steeler. Of course, the offensive lineman, the inside offensive lineman from Iowa, picked their third pick in the third round, 96 overall. We're talking about Jennings Dunker, Mike. I'm giving him an A right out the top, and I don't even care. I don't even care. I don't even care if there's things that would make me make that grade go down. He's getting my grade today. Dunker's going to be an A for me.
Yeah, he's. I'm going to go A minus, baby. A minus. You plug him in right away at guard. Pick a spot. Kick McCormick to left. Put him at right. Fuck it. Put him in there. He has some stuff to clean up, but he's a physical guy, athletic guy, a mauler, a bruiser. Put him in there. Let that trio of the middle go after people. Let him learn on the fly, because he's going to be. If they do it right, he'd be sandwiched in between Fatanu and Frazier, two guys that will be able to help protect him a little bit while he gets acclimated to the NFL. I love this pick, not just because of the look. It's the energy he's going to bring to that offensive line along with McCormick. Two meatheads right there at guard. This is what I love.
Absolutely. Again, I give him an A. Maybe that'll change after I watch. Maybe after that'll change if I watch him and he's not as good as we hope that he is. But right now, Mike, again, the mullet goes so far here in Pittsburgh, all the way back to Yarmer Yager in the early 90s. So again, I know Pittsburgh is going to love him. The mullet is going to be a big thing. You just watch. Is all I'm going to say. Let's go to Mike. We're going to move on now to Wetjen, of course. Weegen, the kick returner, I guess you would say, Mike, out of Iowa, 121 overall. What do you give this pick? Again, this is number 5, number 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th overall. What do you give that grade?
I'm giving this one an A. This is a area of major need for the Steelers, something we haven't had in a long time. Like AB was the last guy to get us a punt return or a kick return. Calvin Austin had something as well. I think it's been a long ass time since we've had a dominant returner. I love this pick. Yes, it was a 4th round pick on returner, but I think he adds stuff to the passing game as well in screens and the quick little hitters that he might be able to use that return ability on. I love it. Give me an A for Weegen. I love this pick.
Yeah, I do too, Mike. I think you could do a lot with a guy like this. And at the end of the day, if you don't grab a guy like this, you're going to see a guy like this pop up somewhere else and be able to be a little shifty, productive player. And then you're going to be like, man, why the hell did we get him? And look at I like this pick, Mike. And again, it wasn't too early for me. I think that this is a good one. I'm going to give this pick a B overall. I like him. I can't wait to see what he could do on the field. Let's move forward, Mike. This is our 6th, 7th pick of the day. This is Riley Nowakowski, Mike. The analyst saying that he is a upper middle class type player. He reminds you, how do you pronounce guy? Who was Kyle Juszczyk? I think his name was Juszczyk.
Kyle Juszczyk.
There's a lot of people, Mike, that's comparing him to Kyle Juszczyk. He says in the reports I'm seeing, all he does is make plays. Comparing him to him, at the end of the day, that's not a bad player to have on your team.
It's not, and this is a guy on Indiana that did all the dirty work for that team. They needed a yard on a short yardage situation. Let's get dirty and bring this guy in. Find someone who can find themselves a little soft spot in the zone that people forget about. Nowakowski was there. He's a glue guy, from what I've read and heard, to a great locker room presence as well. Someone who can help rebuild the culture. I like this pick, and he's a day one starter. I think he floods right into that niche role on this team that they need. I'm giving this pick a B.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a B too, Mike. I like it. A lot of people giving me a lot of good word on this. Again, we'll get detail assessment tomorrow with RB in the house. Mike, I'm also going to give it the same grade. We have 3 left here. I'm just looking at the clock, so let me scoot here. Let's get to our number 8 pick overall. Of course, Gabriel Rubio. His dad was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the 80s. Gabriel Rubio, Mike, is drafted as a depth piece here in 2026 on our defensive line. Gabriel Rubio, one guy that I think is just on the bubble for a lot of people when you're talking about the rookie class of 2026 for the Steelers.
Yeah, for me, he is the Corey Price of this draft. Someone who, before the injuries, had a lot of potential. Was talked about as a good run stuffer, strong guy. My second least favorite pick of this draft, just because can this guy stay healthy? And it is a 6th round pick. This is where you grab someone like him. I wish we would have went somewhere else based on who was on the board. My least favorite pick, just because there's too many question marks surrounding the pick. We did this with Corey Trice. Now we're going to do it with this guy. I get it. This is the round to do it, because if he can remain healthy, you probably hit a home run. But I think there's too many risk factors involved with this pick. So I'm going to give this one a D.
Steel Loyal says Rubio is a pure upside pick, nothing else. I'm going to give him I'm going to give him a C plus. Again, he's brought in as a depth piece, whether he makes it, whether he doesn't, he may or may not. That's where I'm going to go with that. Let's go to our 7th round pick. Our number 7 pick overall. This is Robert Spears Jennings. Robert Spears Jennings is a safety, also talked about on the board earlier, Mike. Back in the defensive backfield. Again, we talked about going and getting some defensive backfield help, especially at the safety position. Mike, what do you like about Brittany Spears Jennings?
Brittany Spears Jennings. I like this pick. I'm going to give it a B. This guy, I think he's going to immediately step in and play on special teams. Guy can fly back there. I think they're going to try and play him at free safety. If I remember, that's what the coaching staff said. But for the most part, I think he's going to be he's a backup special teams guy for now. If they can coach him up, you might be able to get something out of him. But you can't teach speed. You can teach everything out. He's an athlete, has speed. If he can figure out, one of the reports I read, I think he gets lost a little bit in zone. But just tell him, hey, follow the ball, hit a guy. You got the speed. You can break up, play center field, maybe move him to free safety, see what you have there. For this round pick, I'm giving him a B.
All right, so that's I don't know enough about him. I apologize. I just my knowledge is limited on Brittany Spears Jennings, so I'm going to give him what you gave. I'm going to go with the B. I'm just going to do that. Mike, let's get to the last pick of the draft. Of course, Eli Heidenreich from right here in Mount Lebo, multiple state championships in high school. Goes on to have a nice career at Navy. Ends up getting drafted back to his hometown team in front of his hometown crowd in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It couldn't have been more special. One of the best moments of the whole entire draft, Mike. And again, the more you learn about him, the more you think that he just might be a gamer and a player in this whole situation. Like on this team, what's the grade you give to our very last pick of the NFL draft for the Steelers?
I'm going B plus. There's a lot of upside there. You can see he's a football player.
Yes.
You ask him to do anything up there, he's going to do it for you. I think, like Somber said on the board, the level of competition, you take that into a factor, but he played well there. He has those traits you want to see out of someone, and he can be that guy that's your pass catcher out of the backfield. You can line him up at wide receiver because he has route running ability, and he also can run the ball. He's not going to be between the tackles running. He's going to be more of your outside guy. I like this pick, man. There's a lot of upside to like here, and he's a 7th round pick. If he doesn't pan out, well, what do you do? If he pans out, awesome. You look like a genius getting this guy. So I like this pick, man. B plus. Nice safe pick to end the draft. End the
I do
draft.
too. I think that's your last pick of the draft because it's certainly not been as good as this guy, this kid. Like, there's just some kids that have fight. There's some kids that have fight that don't have size. There's some kids that have size, they don't have fight, and there's some kids that just have size. You know what? I'll take the fight of the fighter any day, Mike. In this particular situation, I like this pick for what it is. Again, the last pick of the draft, and again, if he makes it, if he's not, if they use him in different ways, we got WeGen. We have this kid. Maybe a lot of different things can be figured out with this new coaching staff. So certainly looking forward to learning about that. I'm going to give this a B just overall because I think it's a nice pick for it being your last pick of the draft. I think that he could play a role on his team, so we will see about that. Like, let's go through this list real quick of the undrafted free agents. Mike, I'm just going to go through them again. You may or may not have information on the gentleman. However, Devin Boykin, the cornerback from Indiana. Let me just go through the list first. We're talking about the undrafted free agent list. Of course, after the draft was over, we brought these guys in. Devin Boykin, the cornerback from Indiana. Go right here to Dalen Carnell, the linebacker from Missouri. I heard this guy's a stick, man. I heard he's a hammer. Kevin Jobity Jr., the defensive lineman from Syracuse. Laith Marjan, the kicker from Kansas. Lake McCree, the tight end from USC. And Shimon Mateer, Mike, the tight end from Arizona. Let's just kind of walk through these real quick and just give a quick opinion, Mike. Devin Boykin, the cornerback from Indiana, undrafted free agent. Any opinion on Devin?
No, not really. Devin's someone I didn't even think about in this process. I think it's camp body right now. Like, I think a lot of these guys have a long shot to make the team.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Let's go to Dalen Carnell, Mike, the linebacker from Missouri. Again, I'm reading this morning. This guy's a hammer.
Yeah, like you said, that's what I heard about him as well. That's all I heard. If we can get a steal of a thumper in this out of this draft, I'll fucking take it, man. I'm willing to give the guy a shot because we need linebacker depth help.
Here's a little. Let me throw these two names out for you real quick. I came across this morning as I'm looking at this linebacker position, Mike, that we didn't touch basically in the draft. Inside linebackers that are available still at this point. Free agents Landon Roberts and free agents Bobby Wagner. Both can still end up somewhere. So just saying, like, we didn't do much to fix the run stop in the middle. Bobby Wagner, we thought he was old 3 years ago. He went and led the league in tackles the last 3 years, or whatever it was, Mike. So there are still a few guys out there. Probably not going to happen at this point, but just worth throwing out there.
Hey, give me E-Rob for one more run back. I'll take him over Landon, or I'd take him over Malik Harrison.
I would too. Let's go on, Mike. Kevin Jobity Jr., the defensive lineman out of Syracuse. Any thoughts, word, or knowledge on him?
I know nothing about him, but I like how they're still addressing the defensive line, trying to find people in there. Yeah. We did lose Watermilk. We need a new Watermilk.
Yeah.
Tortilla won't know what to do without Watermilk.
Let's go here to Laith Marjan, Mike. Laith Marjan, the kicker from Kansas. I think that we are pretty good on our kicker position. This is a camp body, in my opinion. Yep. Let's move on. Let's go to Lake McCree, Mike. Lake McCree, the tight end out of USC. I see a little bit of hype about him. A little hype here, a little hype there about some of these guys, as I'm seeing on the board as well. Some people have, some nice things to say about some of these players. But Mike, Lake McCree, the tight end from USC.
Lake McCree, he was someone I was looking at for the Steelers getting around in the 7th round when we had like a billion 7th round picks. So I was kind of excited we got him. I want to see what he can do here. We need tight end depth. I think he's going to get a good shot. I think might be a long shot to make the roster, but I want to see what he can do on this team because he was someone I was looking at early. I want to see what he can do.
And then finally, Mike, Shimon. Mateer, Mike, the tight end from Arizona State. Any word on him? Again, I do see some nice things up about him as well. What's your take on?
He's someone I didn't look at because I spent more time the later tight ends looking at Nowakowski, the guy from Michigan who got drafted before Nowakowski and McCray. So unfortunately I don't know a whole lot about him, but hey, we need more tight ends, baby. Arthur Smith influence lives on.
All right. I do want to say I'm scooting up, obviously, Mike, due to time. I apologize. You guys know that. I just see I see a new name in here. I do want to say what's up to John Anthony. John Anthony at one point says this year's draft is the worst in decades, in my opinion. He says this our best pick was the pick in the 7th round for the value. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board, John Anthony. Again, I'm just kind of scooting up. I apologize, guys. A couple of comments that I do want to make from things that I had seen, though, was this. I do want to say Kenny Pickett. Talk about a guy who's going to, listen, he's by proxy a damn good football player because, for one, he was in the Heisman finals. For one, he has a Super Bowl ring. For one, he's a millionaire. For one, he's playing in the NFL. For one, nobody's getting rid of him and shitting him out of the bottom of the league. So at the end of the day, laugh and say what we want about Kenny, but the guy, he's basically living the dream without living the dream. So Kenny, that was just a comment I did see there. Also, I'm going to grab another John Anthony here real quick. Could have traded up. The Aller pick is to move up 2 spots. The kid is a Browns fan. Shows poor judgment. That is from John Anthony as well. And finally, this comment here, I wanted to comment on just briefly. I'm going to go to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe was commenting on something that we were talking about. He says Mason McCormick played over 70 games. Max played 30, not even close. And I agree, but for a different reason. I'm going to say it's not even close because one guy is an athlete. One guy is a natural freak, where Mason McCormick is not. He had to come from, a smaller situation and wasn't, supposed to be starting on an offensive line, where the other guy, even though he only played 30 games, there are people that are just naturally better and naturally should be playing because they have those tools, those weapons. And again, you come, say a kid plays 4 years in South Dakota, and then there's a kid that plays 2 years out of Alabama. Chances are the kid from Alabama is probably going to be better. They're just better athletes. That's just the way that it goes. So again, I agree with you. I just don't think for the right reasons, but nonetheless, I respect your opinion as always. And I do apologize, but guys, I'm going to have to send it over to Mike. Mike, tell everybody about the website.
Head on over to the dumyinzers.com. We go back. You can read my recap of the draft. All the draft picks are on there. I started something new. I have the top 10 Steeler news stories of the day, the top 10 NFL news stories of the day at the Dum Yinzers, every day posting little snippets of what's going on around the Steelers and the NFL. So check that out. Got the merch store, got all of our social media links over there at the2dumyinzers.com.
Mike, Christmas says, Mike, you're drinking Monster. I don't think that's Monster.
This is a Monster today.
It is a Monster.
The Monster and my Guinness bottle. I wanted to address this yesterday. Christopher says it's not Guinness. It's just a water bottle that looks like a can of Guinness.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know that you're throwing people off because of your water can there, Mike. It's a water can that looks like a big beer can.
Yeah.
Obviously. So that is what's going on there. But guys, let me grab just 2 more, and then we're going to get to this trivia question of the day. We're rounding third, guys, unfortunately, for this part of the day. Let me grab this. Tyrone, here we go. Steelers, here we go. Steel Loyal says Jack Lambert was a Browns fan. We converted him. Also, I'm going to go right here. Steel Loyal, if the Ravens drafted him, he might not be that good. Ty says Drew Aller, one-on-one interview on the Steelers page. And Lindsay says to fuck with us, somber. Mike, let's get into this question of the day. Put on your thinking caps, everybody. Put on your thinking caps. Michael, this is the question of the day. This is going to be a little bit of a thinker, and you may not know this. However, I think you might remember once I tell you the answer, but let's try it anyway, Mike. I have faith in you. I have faith in the board. Let's see what we can do. Question of the day is this. Everybody remembers the quarterback competition of 1996. Mike, we've talked about this many times on the show. Mike Tomczak, Cordell Stewart, and Jim Miller. Jim Miller won. He literally played about 6 minutes, and then he was gone. After that, winning the quarterback competition. In my life, that was the big quarterback competition to that point in my life. Okay, so we're going to go off of that, guys. Here we go. Everybody remembers the quarterback competition in 1996 between Tomczak, Cordell Stewart, and Miller, Mike. But my question is this. How many and which of those quarterbacks were still involved with the Steelers the following season? Jim Miller, Cordell Stewart, Mike Tomczak. the big quarterback controversy after the Super Bowl season. Who's going to be the guy? Neil O'Donnell, he jumped ship. We remember this. We remember how it played out. But my question is, the following year, how many of those quarterbacks were still on the roster? Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week, right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day, right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
Throw up your answers if you think you got it, guys. I just need to know how many of those three quarterbacks were on the Steelers the following year after that controversy. The quarterback competition, the quarterback controversy, if you will. Christophus is saying one, Cordell Stewart is the only player of the three left the following season, Mike, of that memorable quarterback competition that everybody remembers because we were all very vested in the Steelers after Neil O'Donnell throws the interceptions in the Super Bowl. Out of town, gone. Now we have a problem. We have to figure out if Jim Miller, Cordell Stewart, or Mike Tomczak is going to be the guy. I need to know which one of those gentlemen are still left the season after. Mike, I'm seeing one. I'm seeing Cordell. Steel Loyal saying pretty sure it was just Stewart. Mike, how many of those quarterbacks remained?
Well, Jim Miller went to, I believe, the Chicago Bears. Cordell was here. I think Tomczak had another go around with us that following year. So I'm going to go with two, Cordell and Tomczak, because I liked Mike Tomczak as a backup quarterback. I think he was here for one more.
2 years. And is this your final answer? I mean, that's good.
Final answer.
John Anthony agrees with you, Mike, on the board. He is saying Tomczak and Cordell Stewart was still on the team that year. So your final answer is two, Cordell Stewart and Mike Tomlin. Let me lock you in on your final answer. You were locked in. Guys, question of the day is this. Throw your answer up if you think you know it. If you want to take a guess, throw it up as well. Anyway, Mike's chose two. Sees a few ones on the board here, also a two. Guys, question of the day is this. Everybody remembers the quarterback competition of the 1996 season. It was, of course, Mike Tomlin, Cordell Stewart, and Jim Miller. But my question is this. How many of those quarterbacks were back on the 97 roster? Back on the 97, the following season roster? Mike says two. I'm seeing ones and twos on the board. And the answer, guys, I'll give it just another second. Take a moment. Still think that over. We need to know how many of those three, which of those three moved on and was still a Steeler the year after that big quarterback controversy competition, if you will. Jamal saying one on the board. Here we go, guys. The answer to the question. Everybody remembers the quarterback competition in 96. How many of those quarterbacks were back in 97? Mike says two. The answer is two. Nailed it. And for extra credit, if you can name the third quarterback on that 97 list, Mike.
Kent Graham?
Take one more shot. I don't think you'll get it, but you might. I don't know. It might be in there somewhere. Ugh.
Oh, my God. Cordell, Tomczak, Brian St. Pierre?
No, Pierre came along a little bit later, Mike. The quarterback, Tortilla says Rashard Mendoza. The quarterback, and you may or may not remember this name, but Mike Quinn. Quinn.
Yes.
Was the number 3 quarterback on that team. Of course, it was Cordell Stewart. Did take the driver's seat as the quarterback. Mike Tomczak was the backup. And Mike Quinn was that third quarterback on that team, Mike. So there you go. Great job, guys. Lindsay says, Vanessa's so smart. He's the only one who got, I think there was somebody else. Somebody else did say 2 as well on there at some point. I think. I can swear.
See that just needs to get right there. Vanilla is so smart.
John Anthony said Tomczak and Stewart.
Yeah.
Let's go here. I'm going to grab this one real quick. Kind of going back to my point, hand, John. I couldn't agree more. Mad Max. Traits goes a long way. Absolutely. Let's do say this. I'm going to scoot up here. Well, considering I was born in 95, I was good to remember Cordell Stewart stayed. Just let me grab a couple more of these Tyrones. My dad loves Cordell. He would tell at the TV. My mom told me I see where I got it from Mike. Christmas, you guys didn't answer my question. You do realize that we have 3 number ones, right? You know what? We'll take it.
Take it.
We went 2 seasons with no number 2s. I will take whatever the hell they get.
Yeah. I agree that both outside guys are definitely number ones. I think Bernard's potential is at number 2, but I get where you're coming from, Christopher. I'm on board with that.
Also, Mike, what we're going to do, tomorrow, I want to make sure, because RB will be in the house, he will be assessing the draft picks as he finds how he grades them. Also, Mike, tomorrow we're going to get into that AFC North, the other teams around the division as well. I wanted to get into that today. We didn't get a chance to get to it. A couple things before we do get ready to start the next process of the show, Mike. Drew Allard, something that I did read about him watching, I think this was the Ben Roethlisberger quotes. Mike Allard, watching him play football is gross, was a comment that I got from that. Also, Mike, he doesn't play well in big games. And I think I have something here from Ben on Allard and Will Howard. Mike, are we ever going to say, well, Ben knows what he's talking about, he's a great quarterback? Are we always going to say that Ben's, he's just favoring this guy? Oh, Ben, he doesn't know. Are we ever going to look at him and say, you know what, he might know what he's talking about when he's talking about the quarterback position?
It's up to the air. It's up in the air. It's going to go back and forth depending on whether you like the guy that he's talking about or not. Because
I think he has good assessment. That's my opinion.
I just want to see what both have, because they both need work to see what you can get. But I'm sorry, that Ohio State system can make anyone look good. You got 3 first-round draft picks to throw to. Go find. Just close your eyes and throw to that side of the field.
It's the closest thing that you're going to get to the NFL. So, I mean, he certainly has experience playing with wide receivers that are top talented. No two ways about it. This was what I'm referring to. Ben Roethlisberger, on Drew Allard and Will Howard. He says this quote, "This is one that I'm not sure yet if I love it or hate it. You can get a lot of really good players in the 3rd round. I think it was that we liked a big physical quarterback. I think he had a lot of hype behind him at one point. I didn't watch a lot of Penn State games. When I did, he never jumped off the page to me. He is big. Can he move? Is he big? Can he move? Can he throw? Yeah, but there was never a time when I thought, wow, let's see about this one. Will was a 6th rounder. This is a 3rd rounder. I think this will push Will. When I watch tapes or I watch games, Will jumped off the tape in a way that Drew Allard did not." So again, just some interesting comments again from a Hall of Fame quarterback. If Joe Montana talks, I listen. If the GOAT Tom Brady talks, I listen as well. So at the end of the day, Mike, I think people will always use and twist that narrative just depending on if it's your guy.
Yeah.
If it's, so that seems to be the way that it plays out. Let's see. A couple of things before we do get ready to roll. John Anthony. John says this. He says, hey, no matter if you like Ben or not, the guy had next level. Absolutely. Absolutely. No argument there. John Anthony, welcome again to the show. A couple of things before we do get ready to take off for the day. I do want to say this. Do go check out the website, as Mike spoke of, www.the2dumyinzers.com. Him, RB, and Chop do a lot of work over there. I think you'll like it. A lot of articles. Go check out our website at www.the2dumyinzers.com. Also, do stop by and show some love to our people at Duquesne Pilsner. Duquesne Pilsner people, Mike, always showing us love, and we just asked maybe these guys could help us out in showing them some return on that love. The beer, Mike, 12 and 6 packs of Duquesne Pilsner is available at Giant Eagle as we speak, and wherever cases are sold. And also, Mike, it's it's fantastic beer. It really is.
I really do like it, man.
At the beginning, I thought, okay, it's something that we're gonna have to talk about on this show, and it's gonna be. But I truly like it. It's really good beer, guys. Duquesne Pilsner. They always help us out. Swing by either if you don't drink beer, swing by their any of their social media. Hit the follow, hit the like. I'm sure that they will appreciate all of it. Always have it here on tap in the studio, Mike, for every occasion. Made right here in Pittsburgh, and it says right on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Also, if you're on the internet checking out social media sites, you could always check us out, guys. We're over at Facebook. We are at X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Swing by and hit the follow button. Keep up with what is going on with the two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And finally, if you haven't had the chance yet, do hit the like button down below if you would. Hit the like, the sub, the share, leave a comment. All that stuff will help in the algorithm, guys. We appreciate it all. Thank you. Michael, your thoughts on today's show?
I would talk about Mad Max real quick here. If people are questioning his ability, go back and watch Arizona State versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech has two really good edge rushers. One of them, David Bailey, went second overall to the Jets. Watch them play against each other. Bailey beat him clean one time, but one time only in their matchup. The rest of the time, he shut him down every matchup he had. And the other guy who's a pretty good edge rusher too, Mad Max, shut him down for the most part as well. He showed out in the run game, pass game. That game right there, watch it start to finish. You can find cut-ups where it's just all Arizona State stuff. You have questions about Mad Max's ability at the next level and as to why the Steelers drafted him and why people are raving about his potential. Go watch that game.
Also, guys, I catch every one of these messages. I truly, honestly do. I hate missing during the show itself. And I always try my best to keep up with it. I also want to say welcome to Kells J4S22. Mirrored something I just said. Ben said nothing jumps off the page while watching Aller. That was a comment by Kells. Again, if you are new and I did miss you, I apologize. I will certainly come across your message, and I do want to say welcome to you and thank you, guys. Thank you so much, and I will get into every single one of these messages today at some point. Just sometimes the way the show plays out, it doesn't allow me to do it during the show. But guys, I want to thank everybody so much. Let me grab real quick off the top because I see Joe saying, Mike, that vertical stream had me stuck. And I couldn't comment there. I couldn't find the stream. And I'm starting to wonder, I have a couple of questions about that other stream too as well, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me like the other day I went on there and the people that were there weren't seeing the messages. So you either have to be either there or here. And if you're over there, you see those comments. And if you're here, you see these comments. I don't know if people are getting all the comments, and I don't know if that's good. Go ahead, whatever you're going to say now.
I was going to say, I always make sure to put the main feed in there, the main link back to the normal stream as well. So if people are just discovering our channel that way, if our regulars unfortunately get sucked into that one first, I always have the link back to the horizontal stream for you guys to pop into.
Lindsay, I love you. Lindsay, she just said something, Mike, that I've been trying to say, but I'm too nice of a guy to break your heart. Lindsay says, I hate that stream. She says, I hate that vertical. And you know what? So do I. But yeah, listen, I understand. Yeah. Go ahead.
You know what? I tried to do something to find more Yinzers to come and talk to us. And I get hit on by everyone. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to get more people. I'm trying to bring more friends to the stream.
I've been telling him about I hate that stream for months. And also, and why does it stop? Sometimes it stops halfway through the show.
Because fucking YouTube hates me.
Okay. All right. Good enough.
YouTube hates me.
Fair enough. Let's see. I couldn't agree more. Let me grab one more of John Anthony. John Anthony says, I like the idea of a channel fellow Jagoffs to talk sports with. These other channels can't compare to PA. Absolutely, bro. We appreciate you, John. We hope to see you back. We are here all year round talking about our beloved black and gold, baby. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do that all over again, keeping up with what is going on, the scoop, Mike, and of course the big hockey game tonight. Please tune in. We win, we're in. We're still in. We lose, it's done. We win, it's coming back to Pittsburgh for Game 7. It couldn't be a bigger game for our Penguins, Mike, and well, it couldn't be big enough or bigger situation for our pro sports teams in Pittsburgh in general. Nobody has got out of the first round since 2017. If you were a professional sports team in Pittsburgh, nobody is advanced out of the first round since 2017. So we're all rooting for the Penguins to get back at it tonight, get this win in Philadelphia, and then come back home and win it and then move on. We'll certainly be rooting for them. Let me go right here. Tyrone. Okay. Hey, bro, we certainly appreciate you as always.
Tomorrow, brother.
Ty says, well, I'm off. Catches later. Great show. You bastards. As always, my man. Always great seeing Tyrone. Have a great day, sir. Thank you. Vertical is bum. Vertical is bum is what Tortilla is saying.
Vertical is goat.
Huh? Vertical
is goat. Vertical is JPJ.
Oh, come on. Come
I
on.
think I just cursed JPJ for the season. My bad, boys.
John Anthony says, go Penguins. That's right, baby. Tonight, big game. And the Buccos will be back at it in game 3 of 4 against the Cardinals tonight. That is a 6:40 start tonight. So those are what's going on in the Berg. Mike, the Pittsburgh Passion kicking off, of course, our gals this weekend. Saturday down in Tampa Bay. They kick their season off in the Riverhounds. The soccer team will be doing their thing as well Saturday. Mike, in the following weekend, we have the Riveters, which is the women's soccer team who had a successful first season. So we're going to be watching them as well. So much stuff here. Just passing the time to get us to the Steelers, guys. Tomorrow is going to be the last day of April, so just another step closer. I'm here for it. And again, we are here all year round. So tell your friends, tell your parents, tell whoever. Come and get into the Steelers scoop every day here with the two Dum Yinzers. Mike, a few things I do want to say. I want to say this. Thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board, as you guys always keep the show super interesting, and that is why you are the lifeblood of the show. We can't express enough how we appreciate you guys, and we always have, and we always will, and we thank you. I want to say also, if you're just home, maybe home watching on a TV, maybe at the gym, maybe you're at work listening, or even in the car listening, thank you too, guys. You guys all, again, make this happen, and we can't express the amount of gratitude that we have. Thank you so much to everybody. Also, a few things here. Tyrone said he's going, and then he comes back just to say, go Reds. Can't you just go back to work, Tyrone? Of course, the Reds, they're looking very good in the division, and he made sure he came back to tell us that he said, go Reds. So there you go. Just because it's tie, we'll take it. But you know what? The Reds are looking very good in the division. Let's go Bucks. Everybody in the show, on the board, everywhere, guys. Thank you so much. Again, Jamal says, man, we need a 24-hour broadcast, like a sleepover. Well, hey, when you guys get back in the game, maybe we'll set something up, because I've never seen people run a show like the guys, like Jamal and them. Like,
right?
Listen, I would get up and go to work, and I'd come home from work and do, like, 3 or 4 things, and they would still be live. I loved it. You could just jump on at any time. Let's get that crew back together. We would love to do stuff with you. Certainly moving forward. You are our peeps, guys. But again, we'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again. Penguins tonight, Pirates tonight, big stuff going on. We'll be here to talk about that and so much more, and especially about our Steelers. Mike, one last time, speak now or forever hold your peace. And that's right, Christopher Latrobe. It's going down, baby. It's going down. Mike and I were talking a little bit about that yesterday. We will continue that talk as we do move along, as the camp does get closer. Mike, in July, we'll be in Latrobe again. So very excited about this. Absolutely. Mike, nothing there? All right, my friend. For Finch, for Derpy, for Chop, for RB, for Mike, myself, the two Dum Yinzers, have a great day, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.